Okay, y'all. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yeah. We in here. We in here. We in here. Let's start this thing off right. Let's get this popping, y'all. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in for episode 223. Y'all know we have a great time over here. Basically barbershop talk. We talk about everything from sports, entertainment, social commentary, things that go crazy and viral on in social media. And we have a respectful time doing it. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm missing my damn water bottle. I like to have my water bottles with me, but it's all good. The holiday special. And you know how we're going to give it up, man. Here to have a great time. So I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. My hair's all over the place, y'all. My bad. All right, y'all. Again, I'm cross-platform, and that's why I'm looking into do two different links. So shout out to my normal scheduled YouTube land, YouTube universe. Shout out to y'all in the chat early and heavy. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in, and shout out to Facebook for tuning and tapping in. Thank y'all again. Love, light, and energy, and that's how we do it over here, big time style. All right, y'all. Again, don't be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Mitchell mindset. And just remember, the only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location, it's just not here. We represent and we celebrate life culture here. So again, show that love in the chat and like how y'all normally do. Happy holidays for y'all that celebrate the holidays. We got Christmas tomorrow, so shout out to y'all that celebrate Christmas and all that. It's a great time for family, love, light, and energy. So again, shout out to y'all for for happy holidays to y'all for those who celebrate it. Shout out to the chat in here heavy already. Let me show some of that love to the chat. Who we got in the chat? Who you got in the chat? Shout out to Ebony in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Made it on time tonight. Happy holidays, chat Ashley. Shout out to Winter in the building. Loyal crew, first comment of the night. Shout out to you. Happy holidays. Shout out to King Prince. Merry Christmas, everyone. Ashley, I was bumping that Ready to Live album earlier. Okay, appreciate that. He said it's a fire album. Thank you for that, King P. Appreciate the love on that. Shout out to Shay. Shay in the building. Everyone love, light, and happy holidays. Yeah, everybody celebrating them holidays. Shout out to Tremont in the building. Your BK style. Happy holidays. Shout out to Culture. Love, brothers and sisters. Appreciate that. Shay, happy holidays to you as well. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. And again, hit them 100s and hit them hearts in the chat. That helps with the growth of the show. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Like I said, I'm cross-platform in Facebook and YouTube tonight. Without any further ado, let's get the show started. First segment of the night, popular opinions. You already know these are not my questions, y'all. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. And we're going to have a good time. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where the label model is create, document, and inspire. So you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. First, popular opinion question of the night. Best way to describe the state of the USA. Best way to describe the state of the USA as of right now. Number one, going through a loss. Number two, blow it up. Number three, bump in the road. Number four, snag. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Best way to describe the state of the USA right now. Number one, going through a loss. Number two, blow it up. Number three, bump in the road. Number four, snag. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. All of these is kind of valid, to be honest with you, if we really being honest at the state of the USA as of right now. It feels like nobody got real answers, but the real answers is that we kind of got to listen to each other and go with local politics. But just based on these options alone. Uh, Me personally, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say I don't want to say blow it up. That we need a whole new system because there's some things that obviously works. Um, I'm gonna say bump in the road because I think that people like to say make America great again or America's never been great or whatever the side of the coin you on. I'm just a believer that because we have information, because we have technology, because we have the ability to change things, that I have to have an optimistic outlook. Like I'm just not naturally a pessimistic person. I've gone through crazy things in my life. I've always looked at the glass halfway full instead of halfway empty. And honestly, I believe in myself and I believe in my peers and the people around us and the power of social media that it can be used for good, even though it's undefeated and it's used for what it's used for. But I believe that it's a bump in the road and that we could get better than ever that we was ever before, especially when it comes to our economy, lowering the cost of living, and being able to take advantage of tax breaks. So me personally, I'm gonna say a bump in the road. In the chat, Shay, three for me. And so she also went with bump in the road as well. So the chat is going with bump in the road. I'm going with bump in the road. The rest of the world at 41%, mind you, over 230,000 people voted on this. Went with going through a loss. Going through a loss. I For me, I don't agree with it because not only we lost our way, but we never really had our way for real. That made the complete America great. When most people say make America great again, there was people on the other side of that was severely losing. You see what I'm saying? So because of that premise for me, that's why I say it could be better than ever where it benefits all parties. You see what I'm saying? It just feels like now it's a much bigger gap between the have and the have nots. And the people that have is way more than people that don't have. If you get what I'm saying. So the people, it's less people that have, but the gap of them having it is so wide margin from the people that don't have. That's what I meant to say. So, but I'm gonna say a bump in the road. And again, shout out to Facebook. Again, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild, and this is Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Shout out to John in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. It's the other way around, bruh. I think I made mention of that, right? I think I cleared that up. But again, this is my opinion. So you can't tell me what's the other way around on my opinion. But like I said, I feel like is less people that are the haves, but they have so much. The people that do have, they have so much. So it's a much larger gap regarding that. John Moore, all love and respect. Now that's a fact, bro. Don't ever get it twisted. Anytime anybody has a difference of opinion than myself, understand it's an opinion. There's no hate over here. I don't go to you know what I'm saying. I don't go to the extent of people of getting at people or anything like that. These are all ideas and these are all things that we learn through our own journey. These are all different opinions, even though some of our opinions is based on fact. Not saying yours is not, but you get what I'm saying. But appreciate you though. I really do. Seriously. Hit them likes, y'all. Hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Ruggins in the building. Appreciate you. Is this uh, you stupid? Shout out to William in the building. Um, Glasgow, Scotland. So we got Scotland in the building. Appreciate you, man. Scotland in the building. Love to Scotland, man. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all for those who celebrate the holidays. For real. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Favorite era of fashion. Favorite era of fashion. Number one, the 1990s, which is considered minimalist. Number two, the 1970s, considered hippie chic. Number three, the 1950s, which is considered the golden era, classic era. Number four, 1980s. Pretty much everything is accessible. So that's what the 1980s is considered. Shout out to King in the building. Is this Shout out to you. That was a huge miss, but appreciate you for tapping it. Hit the likes, hit the 100s while you here. But let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Favorite era of fashion. Again, number one, 1990s. Number two, 1970s. Number three, 1950s. And number four, 1980s. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. So I'm seeing the 1980s so far in the chat. Um, Thinking of all these eras of fashion. 90s to me, I was a little kid in the 90s. So when they say minimalist, they talking about baggy jeans, the big boots, and the big clothes. Like the less the better, right? The 70s, that hippie chic style. The women in the 70s, from the videos that I seen, the pictures, them women was fine. Like the way they, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, when I think of the women, I'm gonna say the 70s. When it comes to women's fashion, you know what I'm saying? The 50s, it was cool. It was very suited and booted. For the men, it was very suited and booted. The 1980s, I ain't gonna hold you. 1980s had me in the chokehold. It had me in the chokehold because we talking about, when they say that's the accessible era, that means that you could take a brand like Gucci, Louis, and customize it, which is famously known by legendary Dapper Dan, fashion designer, fashion embroider from Harlem, and he could take all that and make it more to like a hip hop style. So me personally, I'm gonna say the 1980s. The 1980s had a way about itself that I like that style. If we were just talking about women, and seeing liking what I see what women wear, I definitely would have said the 1970s because they were chic, sexy, hippie-ish. So, but I'm going with the 1980s. In the chat, I seen more so of the 80s as well. Shout out to the chat again. What they say? Shout out to Mr. Mark Diddy from, yeah. No, don't ever play me with Timu nothing. Timu. I'm never no Timu. I would say, I would violate you, Mr. Mark, but I I got YouTube on here, as I mean I got Facebook on here too, so their violations would carry if I go crazy on you. But don't ever mention me in the same name of anything Timu or or you know or alphabet fashion. Like, don't play no games over here. I know you over here trying to troll. I know you over here because you don't got nobody that love you on the holidays, and you trying to give off that negative energy. So I'll violate you. Don't do it to yourself. Nas, nah, the 50s ain't got any of that kind of drip, fam. If you go back to if you see that 50s fashion, they was very suited and booted. They was very suited and booted. Trolling. Mr. Mark, trolling culture, bro. Yeah, no, we don't do that over here. We don't. That's not the type of pod for that. If you over here showing love, light, and energy, cool. If you got a good joke, cool. But all that trolling, we don't do that over here. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I will violate you. But if you're going to be here to show love, cool. So keep it cool. All right? Keep it cool. Keep it cool. But back to the 1950s. The 1950s. I like the drip from the 1950s, but that's not my favorite. I like I said, I'm going with the 80s. I love the jewelry. I love this. I love the way how their style used to be, how they used to customize it. So I'm gonna say the 1980s for me. The chat, I seen some of the chat went with 1980s. The rest of the world at 48%, mind y'all, over 80,000 people voted on this, went with the 1950s. Wow, they went with the 1950s. Again, 1950s was very suited and booted, very slick. We talking about the Al Capone, the pre, um, I don't want to say pre-Temptations. This is like pre-Ray Charles. This is pre-60s. So the 1950s was very suited and booted, kind of stuffy, but me, it's the 1980s. A shout out to CC in the building. I agree, the 80s and low-key 90s culture, fashion amongst both men and women boom, yeah, had me in the chokehold. And again, the one thing I loved about the '90s is that the clothes was oversized. And I know I might sound crazy and probably be like in a minority by saying this, but I like women who used to dress baggy. Like even though I was a kid in the '90s, like my biggest crushes, all the women wore baggy clothes, probably except for Halle Berry, but everybody else wore baggy clothes. Like I had the biggest crush on TLC in particular, not Left Eye. Oh my God, I'm mad. Her name is escaping me right now, but she used to mess with Mr. Dalvin, not Chili. It was, oh my God, why I can't remember her name right? It's every time I get live, I always forget somebody's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. T-Boz, T-Boz, baggy clothes, fine as hell. Another big crush of mine was the girl from Boys in the Hood that played Morris Chestnut's baby mother. She also was in Class Act when she played Demeter, Kids Girl, always wore baggy. There was some fine women back in the '90s that wore them baggy clothes for me personally. So, I disagree, but the rest of the world, like 48%, went with that. So it is what it is. Shout out to Lita in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in 2000 to 2008 fashion. CC, I'm with it, gang. The baddies with oversized tees in the '90s, irreplaceable. That's a fact. I don't know what it is. Like, I like to be teased. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, the women they gonna show it all today. I'm gonna still look, but I kind of like being teased with the oversized. Like I don't know, that's just me. That's just me personally. So you know what I mean. So that's what it is. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our Hollywood Need to Ask Us segment. Y'all know I came up with this segment because Hollywood just don't be giving us enough fire movies that don't have no enough intrigue, no type of drawback. They just pulling up movies all out of nowhere. So I feel like I got better ideas for movies or a movie idea. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for tonight. I brought this up in our earlier format. We had a different format at the time, and I'm gonna bring it back up with the format because I actually wrote the script to this. I have a script for this, so I would love to see a movie called "My Cousin Is a Vampire," and it's taking Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy to do this. So we're basically taking Martin Lawrence character as White Bob from marketing from the Martin Show, if y'all familiar with the Martin Show, and taking Eddie Murphy's character playing Guido from Vampire in Brooklyn and making them cousins. So that is my Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Again, it will be called My Cousin Is a Vampire. Obviously, Guido became a vampire. So my movie would be based on is that Guido is a vampire. He's doing vampire things, and he just want to change the scenery. White Bob from marketing, 30 years later, he's the president of one of the marketing companies, and they move him to Cali, and Guido makes his way to Cali, and you know what I'm saying? It's on and popping from there. So I would love to see a movie based on that. Obviously, in my cast, you gotta have Eddie Murphy, you gotta have Martin, you gotta have Kadeem Hardison, gotta have Tashina Arnold. I'm also going to add Hallie Steinfeld, Anthony Anderson, and Delroy Lindo to the principal cast. And I think that's a very versatile cast who are great actors, have comedic skill, obviously. And I think they will bring this story home and do this script justice. But the story in itself would be basically a low-level Brooklyn mobster becomes a creature of the night. And again, turn into his eccentric surfer dude cousin into high society, and there's a group of clumsy ass vampire hunters looking for Guido, and he needs his cousin White Bob from marketing to keep him safe and helping him maneuver these streets. So I think this will absolutely be a slam dunk. I'm kind of in limbo who would direct this, but for the music soundtrack, you gotta have Wyclef Jean on the music soundtrack. So I think this will absolutely be an amazing movie to make and for people to see. I think the intrigue would be there. Eddie and Martin We know their work when they work together, when we seen Life, and to see this type of movie in this comedic element. And it doesn't have to be based on the 90s. It could be in today's vein, 2020, 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? It's too much sauce for it not to work. You feel what I'm saying? And I actually wrote the script to this, and obviously I'm not going to share the complete script now, but I think this will absolutely be fire, and I think people, by and large, will go see this movie. I don't think this is a straight to streaming movie. This is something that has to be in the movie theater. The only missing part to this, obviously, is Charlie Murphy, because Charlie Murphy actually wrote the first Vampire in Brooklyn. But again, once you got Eddie and Martin in the same room in these scenes, and then you're going to add Tashina Arnold, come on, Delroy Lindo, Anthony Anderson with Martin and Eddie. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's too much sauce for it not to work. You feel me? So I think, and then of course me writing, you know what I'm saying? My writing skills is impeccable, you know what I'm saying? Of course this has to be rated R. It has to be a comedy, but this has to be rated R. I want to see a little nakedness, me personally. You know what I'm saying? Put some fine women in the movie, and there's gonna be some nakedness. You know what I'm saying? So in the chat, they saying that would be fire. Love it. They better have a big bag for you, Ashley. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I heard it first that this would be a fire movie to make. Again, it will be called My Cousin Is a Vampire. So I would love this. Again, Martin as White Boy for marketing, and Eddie Murphy as Guido from his character Vampire in Brooklyn. And that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us for this episode. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment. Y'all know I'm going to give y'all 3 fire must-see movies. Y'all know I do it each and every episode. 223rd episode, it ain't going to be no different. So the first movie y'all must see, fire movie, y'all. Trust me, these are fire movies. And y'all know I'm a big movie buff, obviously. First movie came out 1983, directed by William Webb. This movie stars Jeffrey Furley, Yancey Butler, James Coburn, Michael Beach, and Jeff Cobbler. This movie is called Hitless. Fire must-see movie. This is about a hitman who's been doing this thing and looking to get out of the game. He does his last job, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Hitless. Second must-see movie came out 1987, directed by Jerry Stansberg. This movie stars Morgan Freeman, one of my favorite actors of all time, Christopher Reeve, Kathy Baker, and that's the first Superman, y'all, for those who don't know. Christopher Reeve, Kathy Baker, Mimi Rogers, Jay Patterson, and Andre Gregory. This movie is called Street Smart. Fire movie. This movie is about a reporter that has to come up with a story to basically keep his job, and you have to see the rest of the movie. Again, I won't spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Street Smart. Third and final must-see movie came out in 2022, directed by Jamari Hedler. This movie stars Joma Tamila, Masoso Wilhelmino, Eski Henny, and Victor Willie Strand. This movie is called Sun Tzu. I hope I'm saying that right. Sun Tzu. Fire must-see movie. This movie is about basically a soldier staying back after the war, and you have to see the rest of the movie, because anything I say after that is going to be telling the movie, so I won't spoil it for y'all. So again, must-see movie is called Sun Tzu. So my 3 must-see movies again, y'all, is Hitless, Street Smart, and Sun Tzu. Make sure y'all tap into these movies. Come back, let me know what y'all think of these movies. You can actually catch all 3 of these right now on Tubi, so make sure y'all tap into these movies. Fire must-see movies, no spoilers. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, my artist spotlight. I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. whether it's new or old, whether it's hip hop or R&B. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. New artists or legacy artists, you already know. Uh, R&B group must tap into this R&B group. This group is called Three Piece. Again, they are R&B group and they call Three Piece. Fire must hear music. First song to put on your playlist. Number one is called Don't Miss a Good Thing. Fire song. Again, Don't Miss a Good Thing. Put that on your playlist. Second song to put on your playlist is How About It. Fire song. Again, it's called How About It. Third and final song to put on your playlist by Three Piece is Three Piece Way. It's a fire, these are some fire songs to tap into, top tier R&B. Again, from the group Three Piece, Don't Miss a Good Thing, How About It, and Three Piece Way. Put those three songs on your playlist. And again, shout out to both Facebook and YouTube for tuning and tapping in cross-platform tonight. Don't forget to hit them likes, hit them 100s in the chat. It helps with the growth of the show, even if you already did. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Y'all already know, send them to turkey or nah. Send them to turkey or nah. Y'all know the rules of this. We type in T to send them to turkey, or we type in N not to send it to turkey. People that say and do crazy things, whether you agree to, for them to go to turkey or not. All right, y'all, first one of the night. So there's several viral videos of DJs have mixed in the Welcome to Dairy theme in their sets. Are we sending these DJs to turkey or nah? Again, several viral videos of different DJs is mixing in the Welcome to Dairy theme song into their set. Are we sending these DJs to turkey or not? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Me personally, I love Welcome to Dairy like any other person. You know what I'm saying? It's a fire show. It's arguably one of the best shows that we've had all year. Arguably. If you know, you know. If you watched it, you watched it. Certain scenes was harder to watch than others, but still overall a great show. Fire show, Welcome to Dairy, if you haven't tapped into it. But the fact that these DJs is mixing in the Welcome to Dairy theme song in this set, and then they gonna mix it in, like they gonna mix it in, so they gonna put it with some hip hop and all that, or whatever the case may be. One is very creative. It's very creative, but I'm gonna have to send it to turkey. It's like, yo, the theme song is for the show and the show only. We only gonna appreciate it more when we hear it for the for the theme song. I mean, for the show. But when things become pop culture, yo, it becomes a runaway train. Like Welcome to Dairy has just did a thing for the culture when it comes to the viewing pleasure of it, so much that we love a theme song that's surrounded in death. It's like when you watch Welcome to Dairy, you know what's about to happen. It's Pennywise. He about to go crazy, right? But we jam into this like this is the like it's a Billboard chart type of theme. Like I've never seen nothing like this. So I'm gonna have to send it to turkey in the chat. Y'all saying no, not sending it to turkey. Come on, Ash. The theme song is lit. The theme song is lit. The Welcome to Dairy theme song is lit. But is it in the club lit? Like, are we really doing this right now in our culture? Are we really putting Welcome to Dairy theme song in the DJ mix? Are we really doing it and dancing to it, going crazy? Like, are we really doing that right now? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one thing I do love about a great show or a great movie. When we love something, we go all the way in. We have our favorite characters, we have our favorite sayings, and we go all the way in when it comes to this. So I'm gonna send this to turkey, but for those who don't send it to turkey, I ain't mad at y'all. But again, the Welcome to Dairy theme song being mixed into DJs segments in the club is crazy work to me, and it is what it is. And then when I look on TikTok, y'all don't even call Pennywise Pennywise. Like y'all be calling him Big P and giving him wild nicknames. Like yo, Welcome to Dairy took over the world, bro. I'm just saying. Shout out to Richie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Richie. If you know, you know. If you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. Shout out to Richie. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Richie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Davion in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. Appreciate the hearts in the chat. It helps with the growth in the show, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next one. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. My Kansas City Chiefs. I know I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. I don't know if y'all see the hat in the background, but my Kansas City Chiefs have announced that they're going to be moving the team from Missouri to the state of Kansas. So they're going to actually be leaving Kansas City, Missouri. They're going to be moving the team to Kansas in 2031. They're leaving the old Arrowhead Stadium, which is basically in Jackson County, Missouri. So, and a lot of people don't know that the Kansas City Chiefs have been in the state of Missouri since like the 70s. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending them to Turkey or not? Are we sending them to Turkey or not for moving the Kansas City Chiefs to the state of Kansas? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I'm going to send them to Turkey. I love my Chiefs. But you mean to tell me that we couldn't find a way to keep Titletown in Titletown? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know if it's just the state of Missouri or if it's just us, because when you ask players, when they do like their grades, because they do grade stadiums, they do grade player facilities, home and away facilities. My Kansas City Chiefs always at the low end of that, saying that they never really upgraded the stadium like that. So from that aspect, I'm glad they are upgrading or getting a better stadium. But damn, why couldn't they have worked that out in Missouri? It's something about the energy of Missouri that it just works in Missouri. So them going to Kansas, is it a big deal? I think it is. I think it is, because this saying is a much bigger issue with the state of Missouri. Because this is not the only team Missouri lost. This is the second team Missouri lost. Because for those who don't remember, and people don't really haven't never associated it, but the St. Louis Rams is in the state of Missouri. So at one particular time, you had the St. Louis Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you imagine if the Los Angeles Rams were still in Missouri as the St. Louis Rams while the Kansas City Chiefs is going crazy? Can you imagine how great it would have been to have a Missouri Super Bowl? Because you got to remember, Kansas City Chiefs play in the AFC and the St. Louis Rams play in the NFC. And it was very plausible and possible for both of them to be in the Super Bowl at the same time. How lit would that have been if both teams was in the Super Bowl? That would have been super lit. And that would have been worth the price of admission, in my opinion. So you have both teams moving out of the state. And obviously, there's issues within the state financially, whether it's being a misappropriation of funds, something not being right in how they're delegating the funds in the state that would allow. Because when you move a stadium, it doesn't just affect the team, it also affects the economy in that local market. Because when you have a stadium, you're going to need several hundred jobs that's needed. So that local economy is going to be severely affected. So I think this is a big loss for the state of Missouri. And I hope, at least for my Chiefs, that by us leaving the old Arrowhead, that we build a new Arrowhead, because it's nothing like the Arrowhead Stadium. It's nothing like it. So I hope we build a new Arrowhead Stadium that's bigger and better, and it's more suited for us in the new place. Because life do goes on, and even though I wish they could have stayed in Missouri, it's already a done deal. We moving to Kansas. All right, now let's make this thing bigger, better than ever before. Shout out to Elaine in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Okay, yeah, I told you we not doing the trolls. We not doing the trolls tonight. We not doing the trolls tonight. There's some tickets to the block party. We're not doing the trolls tonight. Happy holidays to you, but we're not doing the trolls tonight. That's not happening. But again, shout out to my Kansas City Chiefs. But at the same time, I'm still gonna have to send y'all the turkey. In the chat, uh, they saying send turkey in the chat. Uh, yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, man, like, it's honestly like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing with that? You know what I mean? So, shout out to y'all in the chat, man. We gotta send them to Turkey. I don't like them moving the team, but it is what it is at this point. So it is what it is. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. It's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. NBA Hall of Famer Allen Iverson has backed affordable housing development, and it's been approved in Virginia. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, NBA Hall of Famer Allen Iverson backed affordable housing development, and it has been approved in the state of Virginia. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, shout out to Facebook, shout out to YouTube tonight. I'm cross-platforming. It's the second time I'm doing this for both cross-platforming. So shout out to y'all. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. All right, y'all. So for me, this is a great thing for that local area in Virginia that's going to be awarded with affordable housing in that area. This is a big deal for Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, for those who don't understand the history of Allen Iverson, as far as how people perceive and look at him, Allen Iverson is one of the few NBA players that is absolutely beloved. Absolutely beloved. His heart, his energy, what he gave to basketball, how he did it, his own way, own style. He's so beloved. And what I mean by that is all people from all walks of life recognize his heart. They even respect the way that he shine on and off the court. And he's such a pivotal factor in our culture that the fact that he would get behind something like this lets you know what type of man that he is. Obviously, this is a part of business, but the bigger connection to this is that this is going to affect the people who need this. People that need affordable housing, a quality place to live. Because most people that say, well, I live in affordable housing, you think it's the ghetto, you think it's hood, you think it's rats and roaches, you just think it's low quality type of place. Affordable housing is basically having high quality living, it's cost effective. And we do need this in this country because everybody is not going to make $1 million. Everybody doesn't have an interest in making $1 million. So you have to have a place where people can actually live, and it could be clean and it could be affordable. So big shout out to Allen Iverson for backing this housing development, and it affects that local community in Virginia. So shout out to Allen Iverson. Like Allen Iverson he's literally like a superhero. When I was a kid, he was literally like a superhero. We used to say it all the time. Allen Iverson could walk through the hood right now with 80 chains, earrings, 3 watches, diamond out, and nobody going to touch Allen Iverson. Everybody like, yo, AI, you good? Like, we going to make sure AI good around here. And that's how we viewed him, because he was just putting on through his talent. And even in the NBA, at one point in time, he garnered a whole new energy. Like I remember when Jordan was in the league, and Allen Iverson said his biggest influence was MJ regarding basketball. And MJ represented the old guard of cultured people in the NBA, where you had to do it a certain way, be excellent, and be great at your talent. Allen Iverson did it his way, great at his talent, but it was also kind of street. And the average person could see themselves in AI just with his heart, grit, and just like, yo, gotta have it type of attitude. He wasn't 6'7", he wasn't 6'8", and still put the buckets up on you, still play with that heart. So Allen Iverson is so beloved in our community. One of the very few athletes that's beloved in our community. So shout out to Allen Iverson for getting behind this. Shout out to Washida in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. One of our day ones in the building. You already know, hit them likes, hit them 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Good evening, Ashley Lovechild. Appreciate you for tapping in, Washida. Shout out to Ryan in the building. Y'all ever. Appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. Yeah, man. Shout out to Allen Iverson, man. That's so dope, man. That's so dope. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. And remember, y'all, I'm cross-platforming Facebook and YouTube. Crystal Lake, this series has just wrapped up, and it's coming to Peacock. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are y'all excited to see the Crystal Lake series? Obviously featuring, for those who don't know what Crystal Lake is referring to, is Jason Voorhees, one of our biggest slashers ever in horror history. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are y'all excited that Crystal Lake has or is coming to Peacock, and it's a series? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I think it's quite interesting. We spoke about Welcome to Derry a second ago, where Welcome to Derry is so good, not just from a visual standpoint, a story standpoint, but it revitalized the energy in horror. And the fact that they're not giving us a movie, they actually giving us more in a TV show type of setting. So are y'all excited about Crystal Lake coming to Peacock? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Ryan. He just gave some gifteds, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Ryan. Do you think the human soul exists? Okay. I like the question. The human soul exists. Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely do. What's going on with YouTube? I know it's Facebook. Okay. Absolutely do, man. I think our souls live several lifetimes. I really do. I think we've all been here before. I think that's a part of our deja vu, and when we have premonitions, I don't think it's ours. I think it's from our past life or in our future life. So I do believe that. But shout out, man. Again, thank you for the gifted, Ryan. Appreciate that. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, are y'all excited about the Crystal Lake series just wrapping up and coming to Peacock? And again, Welcome to Derry. It just revitalized the horror series. I remember the first horror series that came out was actually, it was Nightmare on Elm Street. But this was like when Freddy Krueger was Freddy Krueger. I mean, Freddy Krueger is probably the most known horror villain ever in horror history, right? Robert English or England. And they did a series. And I remember as a kid, that series was popping. And it was so nostalgic. And they actually have it on not Peacock. They have it on Tubi. And I said, let me watch, Nightmare on Elm Street, the series. And it was time stamped. It was a good time back in the late 80s, early 90s. It doesn't hold up. It's not good. But they was the first to do it. And the reason why it wasn't good is because they did one-offs. Like each episode was a one-off. It wasn't like a continuous. They didn't do like a backstory. It was just basically a one-off. So I think Welcome to Derry did it in the right way and has revitalized all the horror, all the horror series that we're accustomed to. Me personally, I don't know if I'm that excited because it's going to be on Peacock. Being on Peacock kind of lets me know that it's going to be a little. I think it's going to be a little caterish. It's going to be a little Disney-ish. It's not going to, give you the hardcoreness. Welcome. The reason why, in my opinion, Welcome to Dairy work is because they partnership with HBO, and if you know HBO, their success rate for TV shows is through the roof. HBO, when they put that backing behind the show, it never miss, ever. They like Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter with the game on the line in a game six. They never miss. Them with Peacock, Peacock don't have a reputation for developing great shows. They have a show that you will watch, but then it tapers off. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was very excited to see a show like Welcome to Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the reboot. After that first season, it was kind of like, I'm cool, right? And there was other shows that they had after that that was like, I'm cool, it's all right. If it was with Paramount, I would have been more excited because Paramount reputation is Tulsa King. It's the lawn, what's it called? The Landman. It's Mayor Kingstown. So their reputation is a little bit better with Paramount. With Peacock, so I'm not necessarily super excited, but I will watch because they will do a prequel. There's a prequel of The Mother. For those who don't know, the first movie is about the mother and not Jason. So I will be interested in watching this. Am I super excited? I'm cool, but if it come out, I would definitely watch. Definitely watch. Shout out to the chat. Uh, who are you? Shout out to Amber in the building. Who are you? Tell me who. Ask me who I am in my house. Who are you? Uh, was she the Nightmare on Elm Street? Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street had a show. Shout out to Saint. Uh, we don't have souls, but rather we are souls. Joe, happy Kwanzaa. Appreciate that. For those who celebrate the holidays, happy holidays to everyone. Shout out to Nicole. Oh, you like Pennywise? Shout out to Jayla. Do you like? Do you listen to Ice Spice? Shout out to West Coast Tweaking. Rashida, I don't agree. Bring back anything. Bring. I don't agree to bring back anything that have to do with Nightmare on Anybody Street. Rashida, no Jason. Yeah, honestly, it not honestly. I've been talking honestly, but when a show has been great, like Welcome to Dairy, Hollywood is gonna run up the bag because automatically they're gonna say, "Well, Welcome to Dairy was great. Like, we're gonna try other things." So they're gonna try, they're gonna try Jason. If they try Jason, they're gonna try Freddy, and at some point they're gonna try Michael Myers. So honestly, I'm not mad at it, just long as it's good. Because to be honest with you, Welcome to Dairy, the new fans of Welcome to Dairy is new fans. They don't even understand the work that Tim Curry put in the original Welcome to Dairy. That original Welcome to Dairy, and people say, I forget the new Pennywise. He's really good at Pennywise. He's really good. But Tim Curry was cooking as Pennywise, the original Pennywise. And the difference is when you watch that original, back then you got a great actor. And that great actor made the project. So without Tim Curry playing Pennywise, there's not many people that could have pulled that off back then. He was Pennywise. He was Welcome to Dairy. That's what makes it great. What makes the new Welcome to Dairy great is not just the new Pennywise, which he does a great job, but they do a better job telling the story of Welcome to Dairy. They have you so invested into the characters now. Back then, you wasn't invested into the characters like that. You was invested into it, and it scared the hell out of you. But now they made Welcome to Dairy a character. They have the characters as characters that you is beloved, like Richie and some of the other characters. They're beloved, right? And then you have Pennywise as Pennywise. So that's what make Welcome to Derry great now. But they're gonna run up the bag with all the other horror series or horror movies and make them into series. This is just the first inception of it. So, um, they're gonna run the bag up. I don't agree. These are real. These are real demons. Send them to Turkey 1,000%. A shout out to Nicole in the building. Pennywise. We know we a spiritual team. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, great entertainment is great entertainment. Great cinema is great cinema, and I'm all for it as long as it's great. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that was hard to, one thing I will be excited to see in the new Crystal Lake series, they're having a prelude. I'm excited to see whether they're gonna give us characters that we're gonna have throughout the series, which is gonna be very hard to do because if you know anything about the original Friday the 13th, Mom Dukes was not playing. If you was walking, you got smoked. Introduce Jason in the second one. If you in Crystal Lake, you're getting smoked. You're getting bodied. So it's gonna be hard for characters for that plot armor to really be thick. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Shout out to y'all in the chat again. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. I'm looking at both cameras, cross-platforming on Facebook and YouTube. So shout out to y'all and happy holidays. I haven't watched any of the Welcome to Derry stuff. I like Pennywise. Yeah, you gotta see the new. You gotta see the new Welcome to Derry. It's fire. It's fire, for sure. It's fire for sure. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Question. Relationship question. And the reason why I'm asking this is because we focus so much on the negative. We focus so much on the red flags. What is your biggest green flags? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. What is your biggest green flags in a partner or a possible partner in a relationship, in a new person that you meet, somebody that you're looking to date? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. What is your biggest green flags in the chat? I'm so sick of the red flags. Everybody focus on the negative. What's the positive? Let me know some positive. What is your biggest green flags in a relationship or a possible relationship, a situationship, somebody that you want to take serious? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, your biggest green flags. Let me know. For me, some of them that I think of off the top of my head, I would say people or women who are open and honest, accountability, consistency, support. Some people would say emotional validation. And most importantly for me is honesty and respect. So those are some of my biggest, green flags. Let me know what y'all think are some of y'all biggest green flags in the chat. Let me know. But for me, the reason why that's important, because our culture, we just have a thing where we just so destructive. We worry about the red balloon. Where's the green balloon? Where's the positive in being in relationships? Because growing up, we used to see them, right? And the biggest positive in my eyes in being in a relationship is having a sense of community, having somebody that has your back. It matters that the person that you're with know how to make your plate. It matters that the person that you're with knows what you're allergic to, knows what things that you need to be around, reinforce yourself with the right mentality and energy to have a real family, right? Because we losing the family structure day by day. So that's why this matters in this question by itself. Shout out to Rashida, shout out to Shay. All of those, honestly, men who have their own vision. Is that a question or is that a statement? Because you put the question on it. Men who have their own vision. That could have been a mistake. Men who have their own vision. Okay, okay. If that's the statement, okay, I could understand that. I could understand that because like I said, we focus too much on the red flag. So she's saying that's a statement. Yeah, the green flags we need to focus on. We need to focus on what we could build with, and we can't weaponize what we don't agree with. Both on both sides, both men and women. Whatever we don't agree with, we can't weaponize it. We can't. You could disagree, but you can't weaponize it because now you're not letting somebody be what they said. That was one of them: emotional validation, that support, that security. One thing about having a relationship, being open and honest, should not be weaponized. That's both men and women. So we need to focus on these green flags and things that we could build with people, opposed to things that keep us further apart. I like to be myself, and have to allow me see and love. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, in any relationship, you want to be able to be yourself, right? But we also have to keep in mind the things that you like in a partner. Is that enough for that partner to like you back? Do that make sense? Like, at the end of the day, what is more important? The green flags or the red? The things that we could build with. And when we talk about our parents and grandparents, because my parents was married. My parents were married for a long time. I was born out of love. I was born because, you know what I'm saying? Like, my parents want some more kids, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the time when they was married and when I was born, it's a sense of community, it's a sense of culture, right? And now we have more people who are not together at all and just having children. So do the marriage part make you a family, or having the kids make you the family? Me personally, I'm always like, the kids make you a family without being married or not. I just don't think that we need marriage, me personally, based on the the way the business of marriage is set. The way the business of marriage was set back in the day is, we need each other to get out of debt. We need each other to get out of debt. But the way how marriage is now, when you get with somebody, y'all get into debt. So the business of marriage don't coincide with the message of marriage. So if you get married, nothing wrong with that. Kudos to you. But if you don't get married, still having a sense of family still matters. Still having a family, meaning children, matters. Being together matters. Understand, the reason why the culture of that singleness is being pushed more and more in, more out, is to push more people into debt, because most people can't afford it. Can't afford being single. Can't afford your own place. Can't afford paying your car note. That's why you see a lot of grown people who are like 40 years old and up still living at home with their parents, if their parents are still around. So that's why you're seeing that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Clifford in the building. Appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. Help with the growth of the show. Yes, it makes sense. Shout out to Ashita. Men who have their own. Yeah, I mean, if you a dude and you're grown, you should have your own. And the reason why I believe you should have your own is because it's like the jungle. There's only one king of the castle. Seriously. I remember when I came home from college, me and my father would bump heads. We would bump heads. And he was like, you know what? There's only room for one king in this castle. And I said, you know what? You're right. And I went to, and this was, I came home from college and I used to bartend. I went to work. I did my shift bartending that night. I came home that morning. Y'all laughing at me in the chat. I'm dead serious. I came home that morning and start packing my shit. And he looked at me like, yo, what you doing? I said, yo, what you said was right. Only one king can live in this castle, bro. I got to roll, dog. I makes enough money on. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is good, you know? I'm going to need my own spot. Because I like things a certain way. You like things a certain way. So they ain't going to be, like, we're gonna end up tussling in here. And I love you. You see that, man? That's my pops in the background. You see him with my moms? We're going to end up tussling. I ain't tussling with you. I respect you too much. You know what I'm saying? So to avoid the tussle, you know what I'm saying? And mind you, me and my father, our relationship was more like big brother, little brother anyway. But it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got to go, dog. You've been getting the free looks, you know, for far too long. When I bring my lady friends over, you see them walk through, you know, and you're like, oh, all right, yeah, my son, you know, proud of us. Fathers get proud of their son when they see them have some sort of motion with the ladies. For ladies who don't know, it's a double standard. When fathers see their sons having chicks, it'd be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? They get hype. So my pops used to put his head around. Oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I see what you working with. Okay, salute to my son. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get my own spot. I said all that to say I had to get my own spot. So, you know, that's why I believe men should have their own. Only one king could be in the castle, and you make your own rules. You set your own laws, and it says something about you as a man moving forward. Now, I'm not going to harbor on whether a man should live with his parents or not, but in order to set your own rules and to set your own plan, I just believe you should have your own spot. Just simple and plain. And then for me, I got my own spot, and then I got a whip. Some people thought that was crazy. Some people said you should have got your own whip first, then get your own spot. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna get this spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my spot. Because if you could get a spot, you could get a car. Do that make sense? So that's how I did my logic when I did that, you know, back in the day, coming home from college. Uh, I like when men look good. I mean, hold up, I missed that. I like when men look good, clean, good smile. Uh, I think I do know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. I know I say, you know what I'm saying a lot. I do say that a lot. Yeah, I do. I know. That's true. Clifford, shout out to Clifford. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. You need your own spot so you can have your own space. And so you can have your own space so you could just think. Yeah, facts. It's all good, straight, everyday hustling. Shout out to Poe in the building. Poe Wing, appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes at the 100s. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's not a better feeling than closing your door and locking that shit. It's not a better feeling in the world because you need a place where you could take yourself a shower, a shit, and shave in peace. Ain't nothing wrong with that. How the type of spot you want is all up to you, all up to your money on, all up to your hustle. But for me, as a man, there's no better and greater feeling than having your own space. So for me, one of my green flags is respect. When a woman has innate respect to understand you as her partner, understand you as her man, and having that respect where inside voice, even when we disagree, inside voice, because I'm not homosexual. So I'm not going to be matching energy as if you're a man because you don't match up. If we was to roll, it wouldn't be close. So I'm not going to be in here fighting no dude because that's not what I signed up for. I signed up for a woman, a lady. When you need protection, you don't need to ask who you get that from because I don't play around with protection with the women in my life. I don't play around with that. I didn't play around with my mother's protection. I do not play with my daughter's protection. I don't. My daughter's protected and don't even realize times that she's protected. She don't even realize it. and she's protected. I don't play like that. My ex, that's one of the things my ex used to say about me. She was like, yo, when it comes to protecting me, you do not play that shit. So there's a certain level of respect that I want off the back that's earned and deserved. And I'm not going to bargain for it neither. So respect is a big thing as well. Even in disagreements, like some of the best relationships I've ever had was with women that learned how to disagree respectfully. They didn't have to say, respectfully, I disagree. No, they just spoke at a tone where we can have the uncomfortable conversation, but be resolution based. That's what respect look like in my eyes. And forever. Because when you say respectfully, that's followed with disrespect. Because automatically everything that come out your mouth, I expect it to be respect. Simple and plain. So that's some of my biggest green flags, is that a woman shows the utmost respect. And I don't know if this is a sign thing, because I am a Cancer. You know what I'm saying? I am a Cancer man. But one of my other green flags is what they call that, being of service, meaning like you doing things without me asking you. I forget the term of that. I think it's service, something with service, where it's like, yo, you see something that needs to be done, you don't say, oh, that needs to be done. You just go ahead and do it. You just go ahead and do it. That just lets me know that you're considerate and you want us to be good. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my other green flags as well. Shout out to Shan in the building, 100%. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. I could tell you like that, Ash. I could tell you like that, Ash. Now I'm dead serious. I don't play around with the respect thing. I don't play around with the respect thing. Respectfully repent and believe the gospel. Shout out to Drifty in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. I've been red, anti-green, and I'm just green. Yes, that's greed. Yeah, again, in our culture, we focus so much on the red flags. Dust and thou, the red balloon, right? Red balloon. Everything is red balloon, right? We got Pennywise, red balloon. We got relationships, red balloon. Where's the green balloon? I might start a show called the Green Balloon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need the green balloons. We need the green flags. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Luis in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out Lecrae. Shout out to Smooth Operator. Are you Marcus Houston from? Nah, that's my cousin. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Trip Lee. Okay. He's saying a whole bunch of Lecrae songs, but shout out to you, a whole lot of gospel songs or gospel artists. Shout out to you though. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. When the crash out costs you, man. When the crash out costs you. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf cost himself about $40 million. He had an incident in the game or during the game with a fan where a fan was saying some things to him. Obviously, we don't know what he said, but DK went to the sideline, got closer to the fan, and it looked like, you know, he touched him up a little bit, a little something, you know, and that cost him mightily. It cost him a game check, of $555,000. What? 555,000 of my game check? Is it too late to say I'm sorry? Is it too late? 555. But I guess some things, I don't know if anything's worth 555,000. I mean, I could see you. I got face recognizance like a mug. Like I could see you in them streets. I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna cost myself 555,000 in the game check. Now, mind you, it's just not the 555,000, right? So now, if the team want to be, they want to be sticklers to the rules, they could void his contract. So now, what this does, the guaranteed money void, Metcalf it was actually 2 game. It's a 2 game suspension, and he's going to lose one of those game checks, and as 45 million in future guaranteed money, null and void. So what that means is, if the team wanted to get rid of him after the end of the season, they can, and they will have very little financial compensation that they will have to pay him due to this incident. Future now, this doesn't mean that he can never sign a guaranteed contract moving forward in the future, but the future earning risk, if the team, the current team that he's with right now, if they wanted to do away with him after next season, they can, and they don't have to pay him a dime, which is crazy. And that's why this matters. So while he can still earn his full contract if he plays, the money is no longer secure. So in his contract, he was not gifted, but he also had a $20 million a $20 million injury guarantee. So what that means is, if he gets hurt and the team said, well, we're not going to pay you the 25, we're just going to pay you the 20. It's guaranteed in the contract. That's 20 mil. So if he gets hurt next game, the team could actually cut him, and ain't no more 45 million, because he lose the 20 million of the guarantee, the injury guarantee, and then the other 25 million is null and void. So even though he has to be healthy, show up and show out for the rest of that contract for him to get his money. Now, if the team grows disgruntled of him, they can let him go and don't have to pay him a dime, which like, I don't want to say it's crazy, because some sort of accountability has to be had, because nobody told you to go do that. Now, even if he would have said the most disgusting thing, meaning the fan, he could have said the most disgusting thing. He could have called him the N-word. He could have said something about his mother. He could have said something about his kids. I get it. But you really took yourself out of favor by allowing this person to get you out of position. And I get it. We all have them triggers that is like, yo, you could get me out of order. One of my out of orders, like, yo, I would risk it all, is the safety of the women in my life. That's my risk it all. That is my risk it all. I said that prior to, that is my risk it all. The women in my life, their protection, I will risk it all. I don't want to say what I would do, but I would risk it all. So we all have our risk it all. You calling me a name, you saying something that I know you wouldn't, like, for real say to me in the street. I'm not a small individual myself personally, and DK Metcalf is like 6'3", 225 pounds, like probably 4% body fat. Ain't nobody really walking up to that talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So to allow that person to get you out of position, it's crazy. And that person can't call themselves a fan if they go into the games to do stuff like that. Like, but at the end of the day, he gotta deal with it. So his future contracts, any future contract that Metcalf signs with the Steelers or any other team, would be considered new negotiation. His previous actions and contract history, including in the incident, prior fines on-field conduct, would be factors in those discussions. However, it doesn't prevent him from potentially receiving a fully guaranteed contract. But we know this is the NFL. This is the NFL. If you got an incident, had an incident on the field, and you from the culture, and your new contract negotiation, they will use it against you. Like, let's keep it a buck. They not going to give they not like, all right, we're going to give you a mulligan. This is a one-off. Nah, it's going to be straight like, yeah, you see what you did last time. So we're going to give you this money on. But if you get in trouble, we can just kick you off the team and we got to pay you no break. And they done that with several players. So DK Metcalf, man, he really cost himself $45 million in all. Wait, what happened? Wait, what happened? Thanks. Thinks this lady right here is one of the best. Uh, I don't. I don't get that. Grumpy Roach. I don't get that. You look like. Okay. Shout out to Blue again. If you're trolling, I will give you some tickets to the block party. This is the holidays. We don't do the trolling over here. I don't do bots, and I will violate you. So choose accordingly. All right. All right. I don't know. I'm watching 2 streams split. Well, appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s, especially if you're here to give light and energy. If you got good jokes, I love a good joke. If you got a good joke, I love a good joke. I even shout it out if you got a good joke. But if that's trash, then yeah, I'm gonna violate you. But if you're here to show love, light, energy, and support of the pod, then always love to have you. And happy holidays to you. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is slotted to be the new Spawn in the new Spawn, I said Spawn in the new Spawn reboot. But it has hit a snag. The director, they haven't chose a director yet for the new Spawn reboot. Everything else is set. Jamie Foxx is ready to rock and roll. The script is right. But the direction of the movie, as far as the director, they haven't they haven't chose the right one. So who do y'all think should be the director in the new Spawn reboot movie with Jamie Foxx? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Juju in the building. What's up, OG? Appreciate that. Hit the likes, hit the 100s for tapping in. Helps with the growth of the show. But yeah, me personally, I have to say this. I'm not necessarily a fan. I'm a big fan of Jamie Foxx as an actor, but I'm not on board for real with him being Spawn. I like Michael John White as Spawn. I think he did an amazing job as the first Spawn and deserves to be a part of the reboot. I think that first Spawn, as far as when you watch it now, it's timestamped only because the technology in that movie is timestamped. But back when that movie came out, that technology was top 10 in the movie. But now we've come so far in CGI and all these different things that, when you watch it, it's like, ugh, right? But he wasn't the issue in the first Spawn movie. He did a great job. John Leguizamo did a great job playing the clown. I think where the movie fell a little flat is his counterparts in the movie, where the Wanda was kind of dry, even though I love the actress. I believe it was Teresa Randall that played his first girlfriend, or the wife. But I felt like her performance was dry. His ex-partner that ended up marrying Wanda, the Wanda character, he was a bit dry. So there's better ways they could have made that better. But Jamie Foxx is a great actor, and he's going to be a part of the new Spawn. I think he's going to do a great job. But as far as the director, I would say I had to write this down. The director that did Doctor Strange and Black Phone, which he's known as Scott Derrickson. I think he did a great job with those movies and using the technology in those movies and combined in the Spawn style of movie. I think that would be perfect, and it would be fire that he would be a part of that. The reboot with Jamie Foxx. And then when you got an actor like Jamie Foxx, it's kind of like cheating because the performances is going to be fire. You know that. Shout out to the chat. You think that Santa coming down the chimney tonight? Yeah, I don't want to get off topic, right? But that's one thing I wish we did as a culture. Why do we continue to hold up Santa? Santa's not the one out there working double, triple shifts to give these kids a damn present, right? That's part of the reason why I don't believe in the holidays, for real. The only thing I like about the holidays is that it brings families together. But the sake of giving people shit, especially your kids, it's like, yo, people be giving their last to give their kids a gift when that's not what it's about, right? But I digress. But why do people put Santa? No, for mom and dad. Mom and dad had to work 3 shifts to get this gift. You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all crazy about Santa. I don't know who should direct the movie. As a matter of fact, me and you can direct it. I'm telling you, I'm nice with the direction game. You know what I'm saying? But my strongest suit is the writing. My writing, my pen for movies is crazy. I have to say that. I have to say that. Um, so again, I went with Scott Derrickson, and he directed again Doctor Strange and Black Phone. I think he'll be a perfect match for directing the new Spawn again, starring Jamie Foxx. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic. This is a statement. I have to say this, right? Because I'm seeing a whole lot of it after the games. Like we're in football season, basketball season, full throttle. When I was a kid, and again, I grew up playing sports, right? But one of the things that used to drive me crazy, and I used to tell my friends or my dad, watch this, right? I really used to think athletes was dumb as a bucket of shrimp. I really honestly used to believe that coming up as a kid, mainly because after the game, they would do these interviews and they would say everything but answer the damn question. They would say, like, yo, what do you think was the main factor in you winning the game today? And they would say, well, just got to work hard and keep your head down. And I'm like, whoa. He asked about, like, basically asking you the strategy, like what was the main factor? Never really answering the question. That's just an example. But as I gotten older, obviously, I understand that things have nuances. And I didn't understand nuances as a kid. No, I don't think most kids understand nuances and people being facetious with their answers and things of that nature. History matters based on that reporter asking that player questions. You don't know if they had a history amongst each other. But when I watch interviews of players now, and you have these reporters trying to trip them up in questions and basically trying to pin teammates against each other, and they go a roundabout way of answering the question or not answering the question at all, and understanding the nuances of that or how genius it is to not give them what they want. And again, as a kid, not understanding nuances and not understanding that they're answering these questions based on nuances opposed to just straight answers, right? And understanding that they're trying to preserve what's right with the team, opposed to being divisive and having division-based answers. So, as a grown man, fully fledged, understanding the politics in sports, because as a kid, growing up, I didn't know there was politics in sports. It was like, yo, the best players play and the best players get to shine. No, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. I learned that probably in my early childhood in Pop Warner, where if you was a good player, you had to be careful of going to certain teams because that coach may be the dad of one of the players, and he will play you, or he will play the kid over you, but you're better. But that's their kid, so they're gonna trust their kid, and they'll find something for you to do because you're good, but they won't put you at your natural position. I experienced that. But then when I got recruited to high school, It was a different type of love because they wanted me at that high school. Now, when I go to college, I learned that there's a politics in college. It's not about the best players play. No, because for those who don't know, especially in football, there's an agenda with all the coaching, the whole coaching staff. So if you have assistant coaches, the best way to become an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, a head coach is through recruiting. And the best way to do that is to recruit both sides of the ball. So if you recruit a running back, you recruit a receiver and a quarterback, but you're a defensive coach, you already got your guys at each position. It benefits them because the recruits that you bring in or brought in is shining, but you giving them first pill. So when you having discussions as a coach, you like, yo, I really trust this kid. I brought him in, coach, for you to look at him and da 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 da. So that's politics in itself. So now when that kid shines or plays, that lets the administration know when this coach get too big or when this coach move on, we're going to elevate that assistant coach. So there's politics in college as well. So now understanding these nuances as a grown man, how athletes go a roundabout way of answering questions because they don't want to be divisive. They don't want to concede to the politic portion of the sport, whether it's football or basketball. And we mostly see it in football more than anything because let's keep it real. In the US of A, football is a religion. It's a religion. Have you seen some of these stadiums in these high schools? I'm not gonna hold you. When I went to high school and the school I got recruited to, I'm from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm from y'all know what I mean by from the neighborhood. So this school was in the rich part of Brooklyn, which is considered Bay Ridge, and I went to Fort Hamilton. And growing up in Flatbush, if you know anything about Flatbush and you know anything about Fort Hamilton, it's a world apart, especially back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a world apart. It was a palace. Like the school had an Olympic size swimming pool. Like all the big meets happened at our high school. So when I looked at the stadium, I'm like, oh, and my mother instantly fell in love. She like, yeah, you're not going to Sheepshead Bay. You're not going to Canarsie. Because those are the schools I was supposed to go to. You're not going there. You're going here. I don't have a say in this? No, they don't even have metal detectors. You don't even get checked for metal detectors in here. You going here. I don't care what this coach said. You coming here. They can kiss your ass all they want, but you coming here. They don't even know you coming. They don't even know you coming. You coming. You see what I'm saying? The politics in it. So me seeing that, I was like, yo, this is a world away. So, and that school was considered poor. Fort Hamilton is considered poor considering to the other schools in the area because they surrounded by Severian, Poly Prep, Fonbon. There's a couple other schools. These are all private schools. So we the public school in the area and they got all the money on. You know what I'm saying? So to see some of these high schools be heavily compensated in their stadium and having kids go there and all that things of that nature, football is a religion in this country. So, you know, and it carries politics. So I want to shout out to the athletes and me understanding the nuances now as a grown man. Because again, growing up, I thought athletes were stupid. I was like, he did not ask you that. Why are you not answering the question? But again, me not understanding nuances. So shout out to these athletes who are answering these questions and playing the media like fiddles when they ask and answer these questions. Shout out to Sharice in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100, see you hit them hearts. It does help with the growth of the show. She also said, true. Rashida, that's your dad on the side of you. Right here, yeah, that's my pops. That's my pops and my mother. And that's my older brother, Miles. May they all rest in peace. It's politics and everyone, as long as the money, they will be politics. As long as their money, there will be politics. Sharice, true. That makes sense. Learning takes time. Yeah, like I said, as a kid, when you're a fan of something, you're just a fan of it, right? You just see the you just see it, right? When I looked at football as a kid, growing up, loving football, playing football since I was a kid, I always just seen like, yo, if you're good, you're gonna play. Like I'm nice. Like that's always been my mindset. Like, yo, when I get to college, like I'm gonna be the nicest. But when you get to college, there's at least 8 other guys at your position, and we was all city. We was all, all county, or we was all American. We was all state. We was all something. You know what I'm saying? We was all Mr. Mr. City or Big 44, whatever the case may be. We was all nice. But when you get to college, politics do take precedent more than anything. That's why it's such a big deal with the NILs with college now, because a lot of schools can't hoard talent. Back in the day, you could hoard talent. Back in the day, you could have Clinton Portis, Jared Payton, Frank Gore, all on the same team, all in the same backfield, all at the same time, and then everybody will wait their turn. You could do that back then. Can't do that now. It's like, oh, what? Oh, I'm out. I got money on over here for me, baby. I'm gonna go get that money on and I'm gonna play. You can't do that now. So politics still exists, obviously, but you can't hoard all the talent like how they used to. All the big schools used to do it. I mean, they still doing it because the bigger schools have the bigger NILs, so they still doing it just in a different way. And even when I was in school, one of like a blessing to me is that I did get paid too. But they used to pay us differently. They used to pay us through the book stipend. So they used to give us like a crazy big book stipend, and our books would literally be like about $400 or $500. But our book stipends is like, you know what I'm saying? They'll give us like 2 checks of 5 a piece. You know what I'm saying? So imagine 5 a piece. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say 5 a piece. And our books was no more than like $500. You know what I'm saying? So we get to pocket the rest. You feel me? And that's how we used to get a little, you know what I'm saying? Get a little money on it, you know what I'm saying? And that's back in the early 2000s. So when you hearing players in that NIL deals in college making, on the low end, 350,000, on a good end, 895,000, I'm like, damn. If I would make 895,000 as a college student, everything would have been outside. Like, who Lamborghini is that outside? Oh, it's your boy. It's your boy. It's the yellow one. You see what I'm saying? You see the yellow and red. You know what I'm saying? I got twins outside. You know what I'm saying? Lambo? Yeah, it's like that in college. What? And I'm living on campus. I'm living on campus. People like, yo, why you just don't get your own spot? Why would I? The whole purpose is to have the Lambo. It's like honey, you know what I'm saying? Bring all the bees. You know what I'm saying? Give me all that. You know what I'm saying? I want it all. You know what I mean? So who Lambo is that? You know who Lambo is that outside. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's gonna be yellow, orange, or red. You know what I'm saying? I might get 2. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, 895,000. Oh, your boy would have been shining crazy. You know what I'm saying? On a whole nother level. You know? So damn, yeah, these dudes is getting that money in the college. And also, it's good, but also scary because that age is still very deceptive to love. Because you got players making all this money and they're going to be introduced to people at a time where they're going to be vulnerable because they don't know what to do with it. Especially when you get your first big check, you don't know what to do with that money on. You don't know what to do with all that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, invest in this. You know what I'm saying? This is the next wave. And they just going to put that money away. You should buy a house. You should buy a house over here. You know what I'm saying? Then when you leave, you get to rent it out, right? Yeah, come do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's all types of finesse when you get that money. But I like the fact that players have the power to up and leave schools at a whim and still get their money on. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get your bread, I'm out. Y'all promised me 600,000. Y'all only pay me 250. I'm willing to give you all I got, but the money, I need my check. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that they way more money than I made back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? And there was certain other players that was getting a little bit more than me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a hater though. You know? So shout out to Kendrick. Merry Christmas to all. Could have a good one. Learning Takes time. Good night, Kim. Do something else. Nah, I'm dead serious though. I'm dead. You couldn't give your boy Ash 800,000 in college. Nah, no. Oh no. Woo. Oh no. Oh no. And I'm on campus. I'm on campus with it. Yeah. 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 Y'all know what I'm talking about. Campus, if y'all ever been to college, it's nothing like living on campus. Living off campus is cool. But living on campus, it's like that's like the only way I even suggest you living off campus if you got a main girlfriend. If you got a main piece, you got your girl, then get you an off campus apartment, a house or something like that. All right, cool, I get that. You know what I'm saying? You got you a lady. But if you single and ready to mingle, dog, you off campus. Or all the bees is here, bro. Like who does that? Like go from the Lambo to the dorm room. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when I was in school too, we had these things called chirps. That was the hook. That was the hook to go to this particular school. They gave us a free laptop and a free phone. So that was the hook for every student. So instead of calling each other, we had the chirps. You could just chirp somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like walkie-talkies. And you had somebody called, it was like, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? That was like a cheat code too, because, you know, the girl would hit you like, hey. The only thing is, if you was possibly with somebody else and you got that hey, you'd be like, oh, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill. You know? Don't worry about her. You know what I'm saying? Chill. You know? So, stop it. We are the father's health structure and play. I never been. Nah. Seriously. Like college is just a great time, and to have that access of money. Oh my God, it would have been crazy. So yeah. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Question. Do the public give too much power to celebrities? Do the public give too much power to celebrities? The reason why I asked this question because I recently seen Nicki Minaj going through an undertaking where people are unfollowing her. Uh, you know, they used to swear by her, now they don't because she was with basically Charlie Kirk's widow and standing with her in at their some sort of symposium where, you know, or what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of banquet where, you know, they speaking and she made some comments. If I said this once, I'm gonna say it again. Why do y'all care? Why do y'all care? We all live here as individuals. I'm trying to find the proper word to say this. I know exactly what I want to say. But we all live here as individuals. We all have the right to change our mind and move how we want to move. Simple and plain. We put too much in celebrities, like celebrities is going to change the world. So the point that I'm trying to make or I'm going to make is the fact whatever she believes, does what she believe, will that change the world on what you need to do in your part? Do her word and what she says resonate so much to the point where it's going to change people thinking where they're going to side with her and what she aligns with Charlie Kirk's wife? Or y'all, or the people that's speaking out, are they just saying it because they supported Nicki Minaj and they believe in Nicki Minaj that they just is disappointed that she would take that position? There's something that can be said about that, okay. But still, why do you care? One of my favorite NBA players of all time, not even one of my favorite NBA player of all time, Stephon Marbury. I've said this on several occasions. And It's kind of dope that Stephon Marbury follows me on Instagram. It's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, Steph number one, yo, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's been my favorite NBA player since I was a kid. I mean, Stephon Marbury's from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And he was putting it on them dudes in the NBA when he was in the NBA, right? But I don't have to agree with everything that Stephon Marbury has ever said or done. Whatever he ever said or done, it won't change my worldview of other things. It may change my view of him based on his personality and based on the type of energy he's trying to get into the world. But it doesn't change my worldview to the world, because I don't depend on Stephon Marbury to give me leadership in the world view. So that's why I say, why do y'all care? And this is somebody I bought his jersey. I went to games. I rooted for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Stephon Marbury is my guy. Pause. My favorite NBA player to watch. And I'm just saying his name because I'm just using it as an example on somebody that I could revere, but also don't have the necessary effect in my everyday life where it's like, yo, I gotta hate him because he feels this way and standing with this person. It may change my view on the type of man that he is, but it won't change my worldview on how I see it. So again, why do y'all care? Why do y'all put that much power in celebrities when they talk, it's like, oh my God, the world is ending? Again, I'm saying this other artist name just as a reference because it was said. Dave Chappelle had a stand-up where he was talking about, I forget what was going on in the world at the time. And he said, you know, we got Ja Rule on the line, and, you know, we're going to put Ja Rule, you know, on the line to share his thoughts. And it's like, and Dave Chappelle was like, why would people care what Ja Rule have to say regarding this serious thing about something that's in the world view? And there's no disrespect to Ja Rule, because again, I'm just using it as a reference. So basically what I'm saying is that we put all this emphasis on people that don't have a hold on the world. Most celebrities don't. They're here to entertain. They're here to give us their art and here to basically influence us through their art. I'm an artist myself. I'm here to influence y'all through the arts. So there's no way that the world was shut down because she's standing with this person or standing with that person, regardless if I agree with her or not. It's just the fact that it won't change my worldview of what I believe in because she's standing with this person and I supported her. All right, cool. They stand with this person and I don't agree with this person and what they believe in. Okay, cool. I may look at her differently, but I'm not going to go out my way to disregard this person because I don't hold all my value in this person regarding a worldview. So we hold too much value into celebrities and what they think, especially in the things that they do have no regard on your everyday life. They're here to make the music. They're here to affect you to make the music. They're here to entertain. If they are actors, they're here to entertain and here to show us their art, show us what they could do as actors. Putting too much value into that shit, bro. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook and shout out to YouTube, cross-platforming. Shout out to John. His egotistical. You do depend on government subsidies, though. Ashley, you're ignoring some stuff. Not right, wrong, not wrong. His egotistical. Rashida, all this entertainment is for a cause strategically planned. We have to care because their actions are changing our lives. I disagree immensely regarding that, Rashida. Ashley, chat, family, happy Christmas Eve. Have an awesome Christmas. Shout out to Tom, man. Shout out to Tom, one of our big time supporters, man. Rashida, I don't follow anybody. I must say they do have an influence on others. Ashley, do you see the new DJ Vlad and Mano interview? You told me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about it. I will give you my opinion. All I know, Brooklyn Brothers never back down. I haven't seen it yet though. I just don't be tuning to Vlad. Vlad lost me years ago. That's not just what they're doing, Ashley. I get where you're coming from. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Rashida. I get where you're coming from based on some of these things are plant based. Some of these things are due because people have influence. You're making my point. You're making my point. That's why I mentioned Stephon Marbury, my favorite NBA player of all time. He has influence. Stephon Marbury came out with an affordable sneaker where all kids could feel like they had like a nice sneaker for cheap. He did that, opposed to having the $200 pair sneakers. He could have easily had $200 sneakers when he was playing, going crazy. He had influence. But even with his influence, regardless of what he may have to say about the world view, it won't change my world view. And we really base things on what other people think. So what that means is, if this artist or this entertainer, because they have influence, if they feel this way, I gotta feel this way. No, the hell I don't. I have my own mind. I have my own worldview. And instead of looking at people for what they do, we look at people what they don't do. Nicki Minaj is not a politician. And again, I'm not defending her. What I'm against is that we putting too much emphasis and too much on celebrities like they're here to change the world when they're not. When it comes to the worldview, influence, and it's another word I'm looking for, but influence and having ability to touch somebody through your art is one thing, but just to say a thing and you people going to listen because they have a platform, for sure, doesn't mean that has to be your worldview. And it doesn't speak for everybody because we're not monoliths. And that's the main thing that kills me about our own community as far as the culture community. We get so mad at a one person, like that one person represents our whole culture, when that's not a fact. When it comes to outside cultures outside of the culture, that's not the case at all. When you think of Christopher Reeve was Superman. Influence, he was Superman. If he got out and spoke politically, people are like, oh, Christopher Reeve spoke about some stuff. Oh, okay, cool. They're not going to say what he say is end all be all. They got their politicians for that. Just like we have ours. Instead of holding court for our politicians, we're holding court for rappers, actors. It's not what they do. So we can't put so much on rappers and actors and have all this energy, because they don't change the world. We do as individuals. No rapper, no actor is more influential than yourself as far as your worldview. So that's what we're gonna disagree with for some people in the chat. Did you see the show 50 Cent put on P. Diddy? No, haven't seen it. Don't need to see it. People been asking me, yo, Ash, you gotta see it, you guys. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. The reason why I don't need to see it, it goes to exactly what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, if people think you are a certain way, do it change the way you are for real? So if somebody thinks you're mean, do that make you mean? If somebody thinks that you move like this, do you move like that? Because they think that? So yeah, I mean everything is planned for a reason. But as an individual, you have to know how to decipher what's entertainment and what's real. And that's why I brought up what I said earlier about athletes. Me not understanding nuances when I was a little kid. As a little kid, I would hear them ask the reporters ask the athlete a question, and the athlete answered everything but the question. I'm like, damn, he was real stupid, not understanding nuances. Now, when you're an adult and you hear people speak, whether they're rappers, actors, or entertainers, that shouldn't change your worldview of the world, because their influence shouldn't be bigger than your own being accountable for your own. And that's more important than anything. There's nothing in this world that, again, that's why I kept bringing up Stephon Marbury as an example, because he's my favorite basketball player of all time. If he got out there and said something that I don't agree with, I'm not going to say, damn, well, Stephon Marbury thinks that way, and change my worldview of this. So we did not ask her to be there. It's a surprise that she even was there. Why would she be there? She's an entertainer, not a politician. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter whether people ask her to be there or not. She's there. She's there. And she spoke what she spoke on. But again, if that was Hallie Stansfield speaking, and she just had the blockbuster movie, you know, with Sinners, and people beloved her at this moment of time. She's with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. She just had a baby. Life is going great. Now, if she came out and said some things that other people didn't rock with in her community, in her culture, people are like, oh, she spoke on some things that I don't agree with, but it's not going to change the worldview in that culture. So that's what I'm saying. In our culture, we hold too much in our celebrities. Yes, you do. They can do it, but you haven't studied. You haven't studied. If you haven't took lessons, you're not representing me. It's the government putting them on a pedestal, not us. See, here's my thing regarding that. Are you ignoring it? I see why you feel this way. What did I ignore? What you talking about? Am I ignoring it? You are ignoring it. I see why you feel this way. See, here's the thing with our community too, that we have a bad thing that we do. We let outside communities tell us who's important. Can't do it. We tell other communities who's important in our communities and why. And more so when they speak, our experience is not one, it's not monolithic. Like, again, as a kid, I used to kind of judge brothers that was from the culture that didn't really act like brothers. And people say, well, what does acting like a brother means? Like, you know, understanding that, that there's a soul, there's a different type of soul that we carry amongst each other in the culture. And I realized that's not so. We're individuals. Just because we are from a certain place, that don't mean we are the same. That's one thing I had to learn. There's different types of shades of the culture. So you don't have to speak every time you see something off. Her standing there is some fake-ish. At the end of the day, if we recognize what's fake and we recognize what's real, why do we hold so much value into it? That, plain and simple. Why do we hold so much value into it? Shout out to the Facebook. I got Facebook and YouTube. That's why I'm looking at both cross-platform. And thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Shout out to Jason in the building. My dude Jay. Shout out to you, my bro. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. SinTube. Yeah, he's asking weirdo questions, man. Don't troll, man. This is not the pod for that, man. I get it. I get it. Show love, light, energy. If you're here to support, love to have you. But come on, man, that's just trash. But again, I don't think we should hold or give so much power to celebrities in their worldview. They're celebrities for a reason. Their job is to be famous. Their job is not to change the world. They can say whatever that they want, but it shouldn't change your version of your worldview based on your experiences. One person doesn't speak for the whole culture. And I hate that motto with, oh damn, you're making all of us look bad. But when people outside of the culture, when they moving funny, they don't say, oh, it is making all of us look bad. You know what I'm saying? We gotta lose that mentality. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. My pick six is in. NFL picks is in for week. I believe this is week 16 for the NFL, and I got my picks in for college football this week. I told y'all there was a lot of games that came on yesterday and today, and I got them in for y'all as far as the picks. I'm waiting on one last one because it was a late game between Hawaii and California. Oh, snap. Damn. Damn. So I lost that game. All right, so the first game I called was Washington State versus Utah State. And again, if you were trying to win you some money line, what they call that, money line. If you had your parlay, I got some good picks, man. So first game I called Washington State versus Utah State. I said Washington State will win this game. They won 34-21, and they're going to be playing against each other in the Pac-12 moving forward. They both Pac-12 teams. So I said that Washington was going to win. They trying to set the pace on that. Shout out to Ashia. No, it's not that, Ashley. So I had Washington. I picked Washington State. Next game I chose Toledo versus Louisville. I said Louisville will win this game. They did 27-22. It was much closer than what I thought it would be. I thought Louisville would have blew Toledo out the water. So, but it was a much closer game. They still won. Next game I'll call Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss. I said that Western Kentucky will win this game. They did 27-16. Next game I'll call UNLV versus Ohio. I said UNLV will win this game. They lost 10-17 by a touchdown. It was a close game. It was back and forth. UNLV could have scored several times, but they didn't. They lost the game, so it is what it is. And the next game I called was Cali versus Hawaii. I said Cali will win this game. Cali was, I mean, they played in a very mediocre ACC, but they played against better talent than Hawaii all year. And I said Cali will win this game, and they lost. Hawaii came back big time, and they won 35-31. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if their quarterback transferred, because that was the only one thing good about Cali this year. The University of Cal is their quarterback, their freshman quarterback. So that was my pick six for college football. And the last game I called was Central Michigan versus Northwestern. They don't play until tomorrow, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So that's my picks for college football this week. Got NFL picks. So again, if you're trying to win you some money on parlay, money line, or you're just looking for some action, I got some good picks. So first game I call Lions versus the Vikings. I got the Lions winning this game. I have the Lions winning this game. The Vikings defense always looks good, but their offense just sits. I mean, obviously they have a superstar receiver, but their offense just sits. I really hope J.J. McCarthy makes the turnaround. Y'all know I'm a big Michigan fan, and I want to see him succeed, but he's been struggling. And the Lions is a better team, so I got the Lions winning this game. Next game I'm calling the Texans versus the Chargers. This is going to be a good game. It will go back and forth. Wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win this game, but y'all know how I feel about the Chargers. They are pretenders. They're up and down with it. So I'm going with the Texans to win this game. Texas, I believe, won 6 in a row, 7 in a row. So I got the Texans winning this game. Next game I'm calling Jaguars versus the Colts. Another great game, but I got the Jaguars winning this game. Uh, I mean, the Jaguars quarterback, he's spotty. But if he's able to use his legs, they will win this game. It's for Lawrence. He's very spotty, very up and down. But I got the Jaguars winning this game. Next game I'm calling Saints versus the Titans. Also going to be an interesting game. The Titans defense is good. Offense has been spotty all year. I wouldn't even say spotty. They've been terrible all year round. Cam Ward has been struggling all year, but all rookie quarterbacks have to develop. You got to give him some time to develop. When the season started, as far as rookies, I had him second on my big board. He has a lot of potential, but he had a lot of setback playing at Miami. And I said this when he was in college. Him going to Miami was a setback because he played behind one of the best offensive lines in the country, and it didn't help him with his passing progression. So obviously you see him struggling in the NFL when that passing progression speeds up. But I got the Saints winning this game. I'm not big on Tyler Shuck. He's been playing pretty good within the system, but I'm not big on him at all. He's like 26, 27 years old. He should have been in the NFL years ago, and he's below mediocre. He's just playing better than what people. Like I don't think he's good, to be honest with you. He's having some good games, but I don't think he's good. Could that change my mind? Of course. If he continues to play well, of course I'll change my mind regarding that. But I don't think he's good. But I do got the Saints winning this game. The Saints is not a bad team. They was just a quarterback away. Not a bad team. They could use a couple more parts, but they're not a bad team. So I got the Saints beating the Titans. Next game I'm calling, I have Seahawks versus the Panthers. Panthers could easily win this game. Easily. Especially if they lean on the running game. But I got Seahawks winning this game. Sam Darnold is always the X factor. If you get good Sam Darnold, Panthers will win this. I mean, Panthers will lose. If you get bad Sam Darnold, Panthers will win. But Seahawks is a complete team when Sam Darnold is playing well or playing suitable or serviceable. So I have the Seahawks winning this game. In the last game, I'm calling Eagles versus the Bills. I got the Bills winning this game. Eagles have been up and down when it comes to great teams. Anytime they played a great team this year, they've been up and down. Bills last week played and ran up and down a really good Cleveland team. Well, I say a really good Cleveland defense. A really good Cleveland defense. They ran up and down the field on a good Cleveland defense. And there were some drops that I don't think they're going to have too many more on the Bills offense moving forward. So I got the Bills beating the Eagles for this week. So my pick six for the NFL, I have the Lions beating the Vikings, Texans beating the Chargers, Jaguars beating the Colts, Saints beating the Titans, Seahawks beating the Panthers, and the Bills beating the Eagles. So that's my pick six for the NFL this week. I didn't want to touch the Cleveland game or the Giants game because I want to see them teams continue to develop. Like, that's what I'm going to say about all the rookie quarterbacks for this year. Give these dudes a chance to develop. Give Shador, give Jackson Dart, give Cam Ward a chance to develop. Give them that, yo. I mean, Cam Ward is physically gifted throwing the ball. I'm not crazy about his progression in the pocket, but he can be better. He's young. Give him some time to develop. Jackson Dart, give him some time to develop. If he change up his style a little bit, I honestly believe that the Giants chose their guy in the draft. He's suited for the Giants based on what the Giants draft. They don't draft brothers at quarterback. So he's suited for there. The last quarterback that they drafted was from Duke, and before that was from Ole Miss, just like how he's an Ole Miss quarterback. So They got their guy. Give him a chance to develop. Shedeur Sanders, give him a chance to develop. I've never seen so many grown-ass men in the business on watching a kid struggle or a kid fail. When in college, he was the best quarterback in college. It wasn't even a debate in college. It wasn't even a debate. And every time he does something great, people always move the goalposts. Oh, he gets sacked too much. Jackson Dart just had 5 sacks against him. He holds the ball too long. Who's open? When somebody holds the ball too long, that means somebody's open, bro. Who's open? What are we talking about? He throws for 300 and something yards, or he's trash. He throws for 180 yards, oh, he's trash. He throws for 3 touchdowns, or he's trash. He throws for 3 picks, or he's trash. People just look at the stat line. They're not watching the game. If Shedeur Sanders would have had a full game, only had 7 completions, threw a pick, 5 sacks, only 33 yards in passing, y'all would be like, get him out the league. I haven't heard that energy for Jackson Dart. Give these quarterbacks a chance to develop. Some of these quarterbacks who are thriving now, they was mediocre as when they first started. Caleb Williams, he's still developing, might I add, but he's having a good year. He's still developing. Just last year, people was just saying, yo, get him and his fingernail polish up out of Chicago. Y'all was just saying that. Give him a chance to develop. Sam Darnold had a better half of a damn decade to develop, and he just turned himself into a better version of a mediocre quarterback, and now people are singing his praises. Give these guys a chance to develop. Damn. It's crazy, right? It's like, yo, like, and then even with Shedeur, it's like, it's always something different. Oh, he can't run, but now he goes out there and runs for 49 yards. Oh, he ain't as fast as his father though. Like yo, like give these guys a chance to develop. Yo, let them get a chance to cook. Y'all didn't give what you call him, the dude on the Bills, that same energy. Y'all looked at his rookie stats. I just said his name on the Bills, the quarterback on the Bills. Have y'all seen his rookie stats? Ass. Get him out the lead. But development. You give him some time, he develop. My guy Patrick Mahomes, he didn't play his rookie year. He sat behind Alex Smith, developed. Give him development, yo. So that's what I had to say about the rookie quarterbacks, yo. Give him a chance to develop, man. You got talent there. Shout out to Tom. What Tom was saying? Because Tom got the chat rolling. Rashida said, fix your face. Ashley, respectfully, I was 15 years old back in the day when I was opening my first present, not even thinking about YouTube because I would have been asleep already to wake up to open gifts. Now, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? The weighing scale is not the same. That's a fact, man. What you said, your sign was Ashley. I'm a Cancer. I'm big 6'9" all day. I'm big 6'9" all day. Big 6'9", July 18th. You know what I'm saying? Big 6'9". You know what I mean? All day. And that's why I understand my Cancer brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a level of petty that I understand. I understand the level of pettiness. You know what I'm saying? Because we do the level of petty so we won't whoop ass. You know what I'm saying? That's a little safer. You know what I'm saying? King petty at that. My ex used to say, yo, you king petty sometime. And at the time, I was like, nah, yo, you just on bullshit. But she was on bullshit, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could show you, but I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? King crash out. You know what I'm saying? Big 6'9", you know? Ashley, I don't know how old you are, but we had the problem when Randall Cunningham, Doug Williams, Warren Moon, and any other cultured quarterback back in the day, they wanted to turn in some receivers turn them into corners or receiver. We don't have to. No. So they turn on us like Nikki. Go goes. Shout out to Anne Marie. We're gonna hook you up with a timeout. Get your ass up out of here. Talking about go to sleep. You go to sleep, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Uh, well, I told y'all on the show previously before. I don't got no problem telling y'all my age. I've said my age several times. I'm 41 years old. Yeah, 41 for sure. Um, I do remember Randall. I do remember Warren Moon. All those quarterbacks you talking about. That is a fact. That is a fact. They haven't. This is why it's so important. This era is so important of quarterbacks because this is the first era we played in that we let quarterbacks and their natural athleticism not be a misnomer. Quarterbacks that had a propensity to be athletic but also be pocket passers, that used to be a negative. And this was the first, I wouldn't even say this is the first era because they still trying to do it. Because if you really think about it, right, the last quarterback that they tried to get to switch positions and he ended up being a superstar quarterback is Lamar Jackson. And this is why I say it matters how you develop quarterbacks and being all in and doing their strengths. If y'all remember Lamar Jackson, when he first got to the Ravens, he was considered a running quarterback. He wasn't considered a dual threat. He was such a great runner in college that they was like, yo, we not going to draft you in the first round if you want to play quarterback, bro. We're going to draft you. We'll draft you in the first round if you want to be an athlete, if you're trying to go catch some passes or run the ball. We're not going to draft you at quarterback. The Ravens was like, yeah. Ozzie Newsome was like, yeah, nah, we're going to come back in the first round, draft you at quarterback, play you at quarterback. But there was a problem. They had Joe Flacco there at the time. And Joe Flacco's system is way different from a Lamar Jackson system. So when Joe Flacco got hurt, they switched their whole offense to Lamar Jackson. And remember, he struggled in the beginning. But when they switched their system, then Lamar Jackson started looking like 03, 04 Michael Vick, 06 Michael Vick, right? So, but yeah, so he was the last quarterback that they tried to do that to. If y'all remember the quarterback from Ohio State, Terrell Pryor, good quarterback in college, but they made him into a receiver in the NFL. It's a history of the guys doing that. If y'all remember Michael Bishop from Kansas State, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in college. Michael Bishop was nice, Kansas State. He was a Heisman Trophy candidate around the same time. Matter of fact, his year was tough because he was a Heisman Trophy candidate with Ricky Williams that year. It was him, Ricky Williams. I believe it was Tim Couch. And I forget who the other one was. I forget who the fourth one was. But that was a tough year. Michael Bishop was nice. In the NFL, they want him to play an athlete. If y'all remember Tommy Frazier from Nebraska, one of my favorite quarterbacks ever of all time, they say, yo, you playing the NFL, bro. You playing running back, dude. Look at the Steelers. If you look at the Steelers, their whole receiving core was former quarterbacks. Remember that. Their whole receiving core, when you think of Cordell Stewart, quarterback at Colorado, they called him Slash when they got to the NFL. Not only you a quarterback, but you're going to play receiver and you're going to return kicks. Who else did they make a receiver playing quarterback? Hines Ward. If y'all remember, Hines Ward was a college quarterback, and he was nice. Got drafted to the NFL, to the Steelers. Yeah, come up, be a part of this receiving core. Who else did they drafted? Randall Antoine L. He was a quarterback at Indiana. Now, when you get drafted to the Steelers, yo, we're going to make you a receiver. Their whole receiving core was full of former quarterbacks. And they was brothers. If y'all remember Woodrow Dantzler, Woodrow Dantzler was phenomenal at Clemson. He put Clemson on the map, not Dabo Swinney. Play running back, bro. You're going to be a back. Like, that's what they do. That's what they do. And there's countless of other guys that I didn't even mention. countless of other guys. The only reason why Michael Vick, Dante Culpepper, and Steve McNair was able to stay at quarterback, one, because their arm is undeniable. Undeniable. Michael Vick, his wasn't arm strength. It was all in finesse. He could throw a pretty ball. He could throw deep, but he had to learn finesse on them passes. Bro, on them slants, take something off of that, bro. You could be accurate, but take a little off of that. Dante Culpepper. You're not putting Dante Culpepper no other place than quarterback. Dante Culpepper was like 6'4", 245 pounds. He was probably bigger than Cam Newton, if anybody that remember Dante Culpepper. Donovan McNabb, he was a quarterback. You couldn't put in nothing else but a quarterback. So those are the reason why those guys was able to play quarterback. But everybody else, now we're gonna move you to back. My dude Denard Robinson from Michigan, shoelace, tore it up at Michigan at quarterback. NFL running back, they have a propensity to do that. Ashley, what my pops told me in life: when you get a job, make sure you can do everything at the job so you don't become stagnant at one position. Be the first to be fired. Block trade. Shout out to Block Trade. RG3. RG3 is another one. RG3 just got hurt, but he was a guy in his junior year at Baylor. The NFL wanted him to play receiver. They didn't want him to play quarterback. It wasn't until he won the Heisman where the NFL took him seriously at playing quarterback. That's for sure. Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy. Like more like two. Talking about Dante Culpepper. Yeah, Dante Culpepper. He was on that Minnesota diet. You know what I'm saying? More like 2. That's a fact. Dante Culpepper was huge. You know. I said 240, right? I got pictures of that draft. I went to that draft as a kid when I was in high school. And when I seen Dante, maybe because I'm thinking of his rookie year, he came in at 240, all swolled up in the suit. By the time he got to that 5th year, he was easily 270, walking around weight. You know what I'm saying? For sure, Dante Culpepper. May accuracy is crazy as fuck right now. I gotta be careful what I say because I also am dual platforming. Can he get some recognition? You talking about Drake May? Drake May is not coached. We talking about the coached player on the reason why coached quarterbacks are looked at as athletes and not quarterbacks. Wow, you look just like your father. You could be his twin. Yeah, people used to say that all the time. In certain faces I make that I look just like my pops, and in certain faces I make that I look like my mom. I'm going to pinch. Okay, shout out to DMC for being a weirdo and trolling. Culpepper, 6'4", Cam Newton 6'5". Cam Newton slightly bigger, but no, Cam Newton wasn't bigger than Culpepper. He might be an inch taller, but Culpepper was like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cam Newton, his 260 or 255 don't look like Culpepper's 270. You know what I'm saying? And we being nice by saying 270. We being nice. We being nice when we say that. Street skip me, bro. Oh, I didn't see what you said. To Stan. Shout out to Stan. I didn't see what you said prior to. My apologies. You don't really want to talk about the Pats. Okay, right. Never mind. Yeah, no, we not talking about Drake May. We're talking about cultured quarterbacks that every time that because of their athleticism is so amazing outside of being a good pocket passer. It's like, they got quick feet. Like in any given Sunday, we got to move them to receiver or corner. You know what I'm saying? And Warren Moon was like that. They wanted to move Warren Moon to receiver or corner. And Doug Williams, all these other cultured quarterbacks at the time. So yeah, Drake May is a problem, but yeah. Okay, so they said it in the chat. Yeah. Uh, you love you some sports. Salt and pepper. I just hope. I just hopped in here. Yeah, he's new, but come on, May is something special. Don't ever say the see the. Yeah, we're not talking about May. We're not talking about May. May we save May for another conversation. Dante Copa have to stay away from Wendy's. Damn sure he did. Damn sure he did. Damn. I think Dante Culpepper may have been the second quarterback that had a weight clause in his contract. Because if y'all remember, Dante Culpepper wasn't even the biggest quarterback back then. It was a guy named Jared Lorenzo. He played for Kentucky. And at the time, he was maybe 6'3", 6'4"-ish. But walking around, he was like 300 pounds. But he had to fight for his weight, where he played like at 275, 280. And when he got to the Giants cut him because he got too heavy. He got to like 300 pounds. So he had like a weight clause in his contract. And I believe he's still playing like at 325 at quarterback in one of these off-brand leagues, Jaron Lorenzo. I don't know if y'all looked him up, y'all see who I'm talking about. But he was actually pretty good, but he was just heavy. But he wasn't a brother though. You know what I'm saying? We talking about brothers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jonathan. I appreciate you tapping in. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Episode 223. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. So again, show that love, light, and energy in the chat as well. Shout out to Jeremy. What about Cordell Stewart? He was a problem for a few years. We talked about Cordell Stewart. Again, if y'all remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers, their whole core of receivers was former quarterbacks. Their whole core. Cordell Stewart, Hines Ward, and Antoine Randall L. was all college quarterbacks. All of them. All of them. Whole core. So, that's a fact. Jamie Weinstone have to stay away from the crab legs and seafood because he was big. He was a big boy too. You know, those boys here. We all grown, John. Yeah, that's a fact. I'm glad you correct that, Wishida. Yeah, we don't play with the boy play. I don't play with the boy play. I don't play with the. It's something about that boy word, and some people, when you're from the South, they don't mean no harm when they say it. No harm. Cause I had to check somebody on that too. It was an older gentleman. He used to be one of my neighbors, and he always would come up, "Hey, what's up, boy?" And I'm from Brooklyn, and he was an older white guy, and I had to tell him, I was like, "Yo, I don't do the boy stuff." You know what I'm saying? And one of my other boys was like, "Yo, he don't mean nothing by it." I was like, "Nah, I don't hear he don't mean nothing by it. I hear boy." Like that's what I hear. You know what I'm saying? I hear Rosewood in my ears. So I'm gonna demonstrate out here. You know what I'm saying? Chill with the boy. But some people don't mean nothing by it. But yeah, change that to man. Is Jameson that plays with the Giants? This is the smallest I've ever seen him. Nah, that's a fact. Jameis looks good. Jameis should be a starter in the league. Jameis should be a starter in this league for sure. He should. He could be starting for the Colts right now. Anytime you bring back Phillip Rivers look like he should be at home chilling, flipping the channels. That's how he look. I don't necessarily have a problem with Phillip Rivers' age. Is the fact that he hasn't been active for all these years, and he looked like he just came off the couch. So you mean to tell me Jameis Winston can't do a better job? So he should definitely be starting somewhere. Your opinion on Jeff Blake? Jeff Blake was dope. Jeff Blake was dope. He was a part of NFL politics. Jeff Blake was dope. He was solid for Cincinnati for some years. That's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, I got Jeff Blake football cards somewhere around here. You know what I'm saying? I keep all the classic cards. I still got them in the, you know, in the plastic and all that somewhere around here. So shout out to old Jeff Blake. When Phillip Rivers came into the league at 45, nobody said this man can't do this like Tom Brady. Now starting to see how great Tom Brady is. But see, the difference is regarding that Tom Brady, he never had a layoff. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I think more so than anything. Like, because Phillip Rivers, he's been in the league for a long time, so he's seen every defense. He knows what they're trying to do. So you're not going to really catch him slipping like that. Well, you can, because he does throw a lot of picks. But at the end of the day, he recognizes what the team is trying to do. But he also was inactive. You see what I'm saying? So when you go home and you start sitting on that couch and your body starts to heal up, because when you in playing mode, your body's always hurting, your body's used to it. You go sit down for a couple years and you come back, like his stomach is hanging over the belt. You see what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? It's basically like Al Bundy coming back poke high, suiting up. That's how he looked. Like even when he throwing the ball, if y'all seen the pass game, just like, yeah, Phillip, yeah, nah, you know what I'm saying? Be a quarterback coach or something, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, the Colts would have been better off with Jameis Winston, or even what you call him, from the Giants, Wilson. They would have been better off with those guys, one of the two of those guys. Actually, Tom Brady is fit, and the crazy part is nobody teased him about the avocado. This avocado take a look at Tom Brady, bro. Nah, but Tom Brady never stopped though. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I separate that. That's why I separate that. But I get you. But Tom Brady was great and is great. He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT for sure. He is the GOAT for sure. There's someone that got kidnapped in the past. Okay, he's being weird. Are you going to have your special? Okay, shout out to Alan. Please don't troll. Show love, light, and energy. Please don't troll. That's just weird. Being weird, bro. All right, y'all. Moving on to my next segment. My Keep the Lie Alive segment. My Keep the Lie Alive for this episode is accept your double standard. Accept your double standard and privilege. Accept your double standard and privilege. The reason why I say that is because, like I spoke about earlier, right? We have roles as both men and women, and we both have double standards. Accept that shit. Why are we continuously trying to fight and you seeing both sides trying to be one thing and the other side trying to be the other? Accept your role. Accept your double standard. Like when I see ladies talk about, and I heard a celebrity artist say this. They was on a show and they was asked about their current relationship, and they basically was saying, well, I hold value in this person now because I know what it's like to be single before. And even though my person has a past, I had a past. And I had a couple of them at a time. And when she said that, I had a couple of them at a time. It's like, yo, that's not no brag. Like, ladies, y'all cannot brag about having dudes like how dudes have women. It's not the same. That's a double standard that you don't want to compete for. It's not a sexy thing because we value it differently. Ladies, we value the fact that you don't sleep around. Men want to feel like when we take you serious that we're getting something that's exclusive, that everybody else, yeah, you may want to bite it, but you can't bite it. It look good, don't it? Look at her. She's sexy, right? But you can't have none of that. That's all me right there. Men, we relish in the fact and thinking that that's what we get when we clamp our woman. It doesn't work that way for a lady with men, because we don't value that. If you have multiple dudes, and as a dude, We don't look at you with multiple dudes and be like, yeah, I gotta lock her down because she had multiple dudes, and I gotta be the dude that lock her down. No, we don't view it the same way. But ladies, y'all like dudes who get chicks. He don't have to be a womanizer, but you like the fact that your dude could be sitting there and another woman would find him attractive. At bare minimum, there's no woman that love their dude that don't want their dude to have some sort of sex appeal. I've never met a woman that just want a dude to herself without no type of sex appeal. You gonna want your dude to yourself, yeah. To have no type of emotion, to have no type of sex appeal. When he walk in the room, other chicks be like, yo, who that? Ain't no woman don't want a dude that don't have the who that. So it doesn't work the same way. So that's a double standard y'all shouldn't be fighting for. That double standard of y'all having multiple dudes, that's not sexy to us. The reason why you become wifey is because you present, and the reason why I say present, because you present a person that is not hoe-like. If you present a hoe, we treat you like one. If we present a good girl, we're gonna treat you like one. So that's a double standard that you don't want to fight for. That's a double standard to say that, yeah, I could get dudes, I could get, I could get with a dude anytime I want. That could be well, good, and true. But that's not something you should be bragging about, because it don't work the same way. Even me, I'm not gonna lie. I judge women based on your past dude. I judge women based on your past dude. So what that means is, if you was with a cornball, and what I consider a cornball is somebody that doesn't stand on business, somebody that's not really into you or act like he into you, and then in front of his boys be like, yeah, she on me, but in private he really on you, but he presenting it a different way. Somebody he just don't got that energy. I'm like, yo, you gave time and energy to him, so what that say about me? For sure I'm an upgrade, but what that say about me? If you entertaining me and you entertain that, yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know. I can't deal with it. I especially can't deal with no woman that brag about having mad dudes in her past. That's not something that that's not something that's exclusive to men. So that's not a double standard you want. Because again, what we hold value is not the same how y'all hold the value. What y'all hold value into men, because y'all all want a guy who has the appeal to get other women. Has the appeal. He doesn't have to have multiple other women. No woman, not no woman, but most women wouldn't want a guy who has mad chicks like that, right? But again, I don't think I said it any better. When your dude walk into the room, you want all the chicks to be, or some of the chicks to be like, damn, who that? Who that? And you want to have the ability to be like, yeah, he mine. I see you looking, shorty, but yeah, he mine. So, like, let's keep it a buck with that. So there's certain double standards that we just have to accept and live in it. It's cool. It's cool. I remember my ex was telling me about a neighbor, and one of our neighbors was feeling a type of way about her boyfriend. And I'm like, why she feeling away? She was like, yeah, like all the girls, all the ladies in the neighborhood, like they be on him. And I said, hey, chicks ain't checking for him. And she laughed. And the reason why she laughed, because she knew I was like, cause guys, we know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the chicks ain't checking for him in the neighborhood. She paranoid. She paranoid. The other chicks don't want him. He come home to her. What's she mad about? She need to chill. And then what makes it even more funny and drives it home is that later on, that same neighbor complained about her boyfriend not really like dressing a certain way. Because again, like New Yorkers, I'm not trying to put New Yorkers like, ahead of the pack. That's not what I'm trying to do. But New Yorkers, as New Yorkers, we're known for dressing, right? That's a part of our thing. Like we get dressed, right? We dress nice or whatever. Him being from where he was from, it wasn't from New York. He didn't put that shit on. He's like, yo, like, I'm gonna wear clothes. I'm not gonna look sloppy, but she wanted him to present himself in a way where other women wanted to desire him. So it's like you're mad for thinking that women wanted him, and now you see that women don't want. So which one is it? So accept the double standard and let's move on. We all have our roles to play. And that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. Yo, shout out to the chat. Y'all funny, the chat. Men have no choice but to, hold on, let me read that time. It went up too fast. Men have no choice but to deal with the double standards. Plus, we don't complain about the double standard. That's a fact. It's the women that say that they equal to us, double standards there to them, not us. Rashida, respect. Wow, that's so attractive what you said. I respect that. That's a green flag. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody wants to deal with somebody that I don't want to be mean when I say this, but I don't know if it's like that high school effect. Like, you ever say like, so I like you ever was in high school and have like a girlfriend? Well, fellas, you have a girlfriend, and you be like, yo, fellas, like, yo, that go my girl right there. You know what I'm saying? You proud of her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at her shining. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's your girl. What's that supposed to mean? Like, why you asking that question? Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, but for guys, it's different. With girls, when ladies, when y'all have a dude, y'all want other women to be like, damn, like they want something to be positive. If a woman hears her guy is not, it, she not gonna want to deal with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have cousins who are females. I've been around a lot of women, and you know what I'm saying? If you can't get John Blaze with that, you know what I'm saying? Can't get John Blaze. Unk tripping. Shout out to Octane in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Helps with the growth of the show. That's crazy to brag. That's crazy to brag about it. I see love. The Ashley, but they say the same thing about your boyfriend. Do you know what they would say, Ashley? No, he think he's my boyfriend. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like being very misleading. I see what you're saying. Like, being very misleading, where against accepting the double standard, right? Because then you have some women that will brag about, well, I got different men to do different things. And I've seen that on social media where a girl shows her day in her life, she does her dress with me, and then she shows her day in her life where she needs something to eat. So she had a dude that brought her something to eat. She wanted to watch something on, she wanted to entertain herself. So there's a dude that came over that brought her, he went to pick her up and they went out. Then she had another dude to do something else and another dude to do something else. Like, that's not something to brag on. And when you get caught up out there, it's not a sexy look. It's not. It doesn't work in the same way. It doesn't work in the same vein. So I get exactly what you're saying. No, we do not. Tom. So we should say at the time, I've seen men do different things. Shout out to Put Name, Ashley. When those girls get alone with the other girl, they would say, you really talk to him? She would say, no, that's not my boyfriend. Rashida, when we like you, we claim you. When we like you, we claim you. That's what she's saying. Ashley, girls in high school were dating guys that had cars, and the guys that had the cars back in the day. Yeah, you know what's crazy? When I was in junior high school, a lot of the high school guys would come down to the junior high school and date the junior high girls because they had access to things that as junior high school guys we didn't. Um, and it's always like that at every level. So when you're in high school, then the college guys come down. But the one thing I never got about being an older guy is like, why would you go back? Like when I was in high school, I was not thinking of no junior high school girls. Like I think it was in the Wood that said it properly in the movie Wood. It's like, yo, when I got to high school, girls didn't just have the butt, they had the breast. So in high school, you know what I'm saying? It's high school, baby. It's like, damn, like it's more on that biscuit. You feel what I'm saying? So I had no inkling going back to my junior high. And when I did go back to my junior high to visit, my basketball coach, I never looked at the junior high school girls. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, what's up with them teachers? Like, listen, I got to pass. You know what I'm saying? What's up with some of them teachers? You know what I'm saying? And I had a teacher that was kind of sweet on old Ash. You know what I'm saying? As a student. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that my mentality was never to go back to get the younger girls. Even when I was in college, I never went back to my high school to get high school girls. It was like, yo, I'm in college, bro. I'm about to go crazy with the women. Well, I'm going back to my high school for what? Like, been there, did that, done that, bro. Like, what are we doing? So, uh, when we like you, they claim. So you saying when a woman like you, she claim you. Now there is some truth to that. When a woman like you, she do claim you. There's something to be said about that. But it's not always definitive. It's not always definitive. Some women can like you so much that they just want you in their life on how you want it. If she likes you that much, fellas, as long as you in her life, you don't have to be a boyfriend, you don't have to be her husband. As long as you in her life, you're always going to be a part of the situation. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've dealt with women who, you know what I'm saying? And when I come around, it's not, you feel what I'm saying? And it was just like that. Feel me? And they went back to their situation. And that's mainly because they like me like that. You know what I'm saying? I was never going to take them serious, though, because how I'm going to take you serious and you doing that to your man? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm fool enough to be like, oh, I'm the only one, huh? And let's say if I'm the only one, you still dipping out on your main. So that shows a part of your character. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, when a woman like you, she do claim you. She do claim you. But it takes a man to really move that forward, though. That's high school. Yup, I feel you. Shout out to Cover Up. Appreciate you. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Ashley, it wasn't about that. And let you know how fast the girls was back in the day. When I was in the 9th and 10th grade, there were girls that was fully developed, looking like that is a fact. I will say this: in my junior high school, girls were fully developed. In my junior high school, I'll never forget this. My 8th grade prom. My 8th grade prom. I never forget this. I'm standing there outside, looking smooth. I had my suit on, you know what I'm saying? I was looking smooth, you know what I'm saying? And the girls was coming out. We were all about to get on the bus, you know what I'm saying? We had the charter bus that's taking us to the boat. We had like a boat ride prom. And when the girls coming out, my mother said to the next mother, where did these girls get these bodies from? We didn't have body. Like all these girls coming out are tall, titty, and ass. And she looked at me like, yo, behave yourself. And she know what type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, she knew what type of time I was on in 8th grade. knew what type of time I was on. Behave yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I already had me, I had an 8th grade girlfriend, and she was fine too. You know what I'm saying? Real nice and chocolatey, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, chill, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it cool, but if my song come on, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And my song that year was nice and no, real close by Next. If y'all know the song Close, if y'all know the song Close by Next, that song's the party starter, back when I was in junior high school. You know what I'm saying? But they was fully developed in my 8th grade. So by the time I got to high school, there was girls that looked like grown women. You know what I'm saying? I remember one girl told me in high school, she was 16, I was 14. My first day of school, she came up to me like, "Damn, you cute." She was like, "Yo, I don't know if I could rock with you." I'm like, "Yo, like, what are you talking about?" She was like, you ain't ready for me." I'm like, "You 16, I'm 14. Yeah, you ain't ready for me." Get out of here. Like, what is he talking about? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So again, when they like you, they claim you. You feel me? But she was very thick, very, you know what I'm saying? And funny and oddly enough, she introduced me to my daughter's mom, which was crazy. That here. Shout out to Goof, being a goofball in the chat. Shout out to you. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Rashida, Tom, y'all laughing at me in the chat. Ashley, we wasn't lit. We were smooth, being smooth with a different, with different type of lit, different than lit. Yeah, yo, I'm trying to tell you, man. High school, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Ashley, you a hot mess. Wifey was the part of the start of the. Wifey was the party start. Nah, I'm saying like my daughter's mom when she was mad shy when she first met. She had to have somebody introduce me to her. You know what I'm saying? So one of her friends came up to me like, "Oh, my friend think you cute. Like, she want to meet you. Where's she at? Like, what you talking about, man? Where we at? Oh, her? Oh, yeah, she cool. She cool. You know? I wasn't looking at her to be my baby mother back then, but you know what I'm saying? She ended up being that later on, you know? A shout out to Dustin. Merry Christmas. Appreciate that. Happy holidays to you. I don't celebrate the holidays, but for those who do, shout out to y'all. It's a great time to be with the family, for a fact. But yeah, man. High school, junior high school, like that's why I be wanting to see a lot of these celebrities like in junior high school and high school because the people that they become is not the same person that it started off with. And if you was cool in junior high school and in high school, just off your personality, you didn't have to try hard. That says a lot about you as your personality and how you give energy to people. Now, if you wasn't popular, doesn't mean you a bad person. You just didn't have the skills to really like kind of be like outgoing, you know. So and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are just late bloomers. Nothing wrong with that either. Men, we prefer late blooming women. We prefer that. I ain't gonna lie. When I got to college and it was certain women I would meet, they were like, "Yo, I'm a virgin," and I'd be like, "Word? Wow, okay. I'm not the guy for you." But I respect that. I respect that, sister. Give that to somebody who's gonna care. Cause this is my college virgin. Oh, nah, I'm not gonna respect no parts of your virginity, ma. Give that to somebody you gonna remember. Like I'm on doggy time right now. College, dog time. I used to wear dog tags and everything in college. Dog time. Y'all laughing at me, but I'm dead. They were like, "Yo, why you wear the dog tags?" I'm like, "Yo, chill. Nah, me, this is symbolic, you heard? It's symbolic, you know what I'm saying? This is symbolic, you know what I'm saying? I'm on dog time, you know what I mean? Woof, woof. And I had my little heart broken probably like a year or two before I got to college. Oh, I'm on doggy time. Doggy time. And we in college? Yeah, say that for that virginity for somebody that She's gonna take time to love you properly, you know what I'm saying? Going, you know what I'm saying, going to romance you and all that, you know? Say that for that person, you know what I'm saying? But I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Uh Tip the host menace too. I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? The whole menace out here. Shout out to Evil in the building. You get on my nerves. I was nah, I'm saying though, I'm keeping it a bead though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect the virginity, you know what I mean? And I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? I was just on a whole nother type of time at that time, you know? I met this other girl who thought I was nice looking or whatever the case may be. I meet her, she was sweet and nice and just like, damn, you a good girl. I like that about you, you know? And yeah, that was it. Like it's that, you know, it was like, yo, I'm over here in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'd have met you at a different time, maybe. You a good girl, you know what I'm saying? Good girl. That's why I don't understand guys who, especially when you're like in college, go back to get the high school girls. Or when you're in high school, you go back to get the junior high school girls. I just never understood that. It's like, I, my mother always used to make fun of me that I was always into older women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because my first time was with a grown woman. You know, my very first time was actually, with the grown woman. So, and I'm not saying that as a brag. I'm just saying that that's just real. You know what I'm saying? Even though that was wrong on her, but that was a. But my mother always used to tease me about that. She's like, "You love them older women." You know what I'm saying? You're like, you gonna mess around, catch worms. So my mother used to tell you, you gonna catch them out, catch worms. Like that's that lady over here in the picture. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lane in the building. Hey, can you? Accident. Shout out to Nick. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes. Hit the 100s. Helps with the growth of the show. Uh, Shout out to my Facebook too. This is the second time I'm actually cross platforming on Facebook and YouTube. Uh, Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Nick. Again, appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We a little over 12. This is the Cannon Brothers Get a Rap podcast. If this is your first time tapping in, and I am Ashley Lovechild. Shout out to Tyrone. Shout out to Jerry in the building. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Show love, light, and energy. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Yo, y'all, for real, happy holidays to y'all. I don't celebrate the holidays, but the holidays is always beautiful because you get an opportunity to be around your family, not just your relatives, because I look at relatives and family as two different things. Family find every reason to respect you. Relatives find reason to disrespect you because I'm your cousin, so I should be able to disrespect you. No, you catch your ass whooping. But it's still a great time to be around your family and people that you hold near and dear to your heart. So for that in itself, happy holidays to all of those that's with their family, not with your family. Just shout out to you. Sometimes we in this world and feel alone, and we seeing it day by day because people are unaliving themselves. We seen the actor from, I believe, the It movie, It Chapter 2. He unalived himself the other day. I forget the name of the actor, but he was also on the show The Wire. I remember him also from The Wire than from It, but he was also on the It series, and he unalived himself the other day, and it's mainly because people are feeling alone, yo. So there's nothing wrong with getting that sense of community, that sense of family. We all need it. That's why you have people. Some people will be out trolling because they don't. In their real life, like they got nothing else to control in their real life, so they need to find a place where they could give off that negative energy. You know what I'm saying? But you get so much more with love instead of negative energy. So, you know, uh, duh, duh, duh. Shout out to Egg in the build. Appreciate you for tapping in. We on fire up in here. It's burning hot. We on fire. I feel you. The only real Soldier Coy, Lloyd Banks, we on fire. You was on something else. You was on something else. Uh, okay. Yeah, man. So again, man, shout out to y'all for celebrating the holidays, man. I got a whole bunch of rewatchable videos on this podcast. Make sure y'all go tune and tap into them. There's a playlist, over 550 rewatchable videos of this podcast. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, which is OUV Records and Button Snaps. Be on the lookout for the new OUV Records app, OUV Records app, coming out with our own app because of Apple Music and Spotify. Their updates does not benefit artists and our music and our time, and they take advantage with AI. So we started our own because it gives our listeners better experience in listening to the music, a better experience in the album with the visuals. It's a fire app that we're working on right now. It's still in development, but me seeing it, I'm excited for y'all to see this, and it's gonna have all the music from all of our artists, current and past, and it's a fire app. We got a lot of when I really realized, I was like, OUV Records have a lot of damn music, so I know it's gonna be fire for y'all to tune and tap into. A shout out to Rowan. Rowan, appreciate you tapping in, my guy. I asked Santa for you. Come on, I'm not even gonna finish that, bro. You stupid. You stupid. That's one of our day ones of the podcast. Shout out to Rowan. Shout out to the only real in the building. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish the rest of that. I love a good joke. Give me a good joke. If you're going to joke, give me a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's repetitive. Uh, how old how old was you? Shout out to Ishida. Shout out to Soho, right? It was so con. Shout out to Eddie. You still wear jeans backwards, little homie. See, you see what I was talking about? Well, I feel like what I just said, people feel alone in the world, and they have to. Some people feel like they have to be sustained by trolling to feel a sense of community because I could either violate them or you know what I'm saying. But they need to feel that, and you have people that if they don't get that, they unalive themselves out here. So that's why being around your family is necessary, or being around love is necessary. But realize, y'all, trolling don't give you love. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of something positive by being positive, by saying something positive. That's how you get love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just weird. Be a part of something that's greater than yourself. Shout out to Ashida. Not only that, it's still a Devin energy, a demon. I think you say demon, a demon energy at this time of year, bro. Oogle. Come on, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all making my point. You know what I'm saying? These trolls, they're making my point. Shout out to Ronald. Yeah, see, y'all making my point. Like, these jokes, it's a lot of dust. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dust. But hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Shout out to my Facebook because I'm cross-platforming as well. Shout out to Rowan. You doing anything tonight, Ash? Man, I'm gonna get in the studio, work on some music. That's what I'm gonna do. Shout out to Hit in the building. He's a dust. Nah, for real, there's a lot of dust on them jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dust. You know what I mean? Real talk. But again, for those who are really supporting, again, I appreciate you. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. This is episode 223. That's 23. It's a lot of episodes. Again, the new comics and animation will be coming out based on World Domination. It's a fire comics, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. I wore a couple of the merchandise of the characters of the new comics that I developed. It's so fire. Got the new music on this way. I got new music now, but I'm no longer going to release it through Apple and Spotify anymore. And it's only going to solely exclusively be on the OUV Records app. Don't forget, we got the New Year's episode coming up on the 31st. And we're going to have New Year's awards, which is going to be super fire. We're also going to have a gift membership a thon where we're gifting. Well, the goal is 26 gifted members for that episode because it's 2026. Uh, so that's going to be the goal. So make sure y'all tune in for that as well. It's going to be a fire show. I may have some guests to tap in on that show too. It's going to be fun. I feel like this year holidays felt kind of sad. Like nothing really happened, you know. Yeah, that this year feels a little lethargic for sure. This year feels like, me personally, I don't celebrate the holidays, but there's always been like an energy around the holidays that you don't feel. And for me personally, living in Florida or moving to Florida, it's, I mean, cause it's night. Like I do my 2 mile run every day, and even today I'm outside, shorts, the cut off shirt. You know what I'm saying? Got to show the bill. You know what I'm saying? Got to show the guns a little bit. But it was warm outside. Like it's really nice in Florida. So that in itself, it doesn't feel like the holidays too. So that's for sure. Shout out to Hitman. Enough time when is enough. Santana guest. No, Santana's not the guest. You look like double dip of chips. More dust. You know what I'm saying? Just real dust on them jokes. You know what I'm saying? I love a good joke. I like to laugh. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dust. I don't know. Maybe because we are growing up, I feel like I was younger. Holidays felt exciting, but now they kind of just like another day. That's for sure. That's for sure. My mother used to put a big emphasis on the holidays. So obviously, with her passing away, it obviously don't feel the same. But I don't celebrate the holidays anymore as a grown man, mainly because of what I found out about the holidays. So, but even then, it's still the energy. It's not even about celebrating. It's just the energy. It doesn't feel the same. So I definitely agree regarding that. Any resolution goals for 2026? Honestly, to stay on top of my health, uh, physically, mentally, uh, get to that, get more to that shmulala, you know what I'm saying? Get more of that, and just staying solid, man. Just staying solid. Those are the three things that my main thing. You know, your physical health is, to me, it goes hand in hand with mental health. So you need both of those. So I've been on top of that. I've been, on my workout. I don't know if y'all seen some of my new pictures. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your boy been back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, mental health, physical health, and just making that shmoo la la. You know what I'm saying? That shmoo la la is make the world go round. You feel me? Uh, Shout out to Adam. I'm scared. What are you scared of? You ain't scared. You just trolling. Shout out to Harry. Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Y'all don't celebrate the holidays, but happy holidays to you, my dude. Appreciate that. Uh, so yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Rome, but shout out to him. I hope he's doing well. It is what it is. Washida, no divine energy, no divine. Uh, is is the winter. So Adam, I'm scared because there's bad people. Yeah, there's bad people everywhere, but there's also good people too, my brother. But man, I really appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday. Again, every Wednesday at 10:30. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in. For those, if this is your first time tapping in, this Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast on the Ashley Lovechild channel. And we're on, like I said, every Wednesday, every Sunday. And we talk about everything here. We have a good time. We crack jokes. You feel me? We talk about that real, whether it's in music, sports, entertainment, viral related. We talk about everything here. If y'all go tap into those videos that I'm telling y'all about on the channel, y'all see I'm very versatile on the things that I'll talk about. I have an immense passion for podcasting. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in, man. Y'all been super amazing. Don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Uh, you read it wrong, Ashley. I read it wrong? My bad. My bad, Washida. I didn't mean to read that wrong. Ash don't end. Twinkle, twinkle. The real. Uh, some of y'all comments have been redacted from YouTube. That's YouTube. So if it's been redacted, y'all probably said a word that is like, yeah, they not gonna let it rock. They not gonna let it rock at all. So also, I feel like I'm missing something else. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, we got some of the other podcasts also coming back. Obviously, Kenneth Brothers Get a Rap podcast always going to be here, but I'm also going to add some of the other podcasts as well. We need mods in here, Ash. We need mods in here, Ash. Yeah, a record. Yeah, I mean, you know how I do with the mods things, bro. Like sometimes I let y'all, be the mods, but some of y'all be going crazy when y'all the mods though. Y'all really be showing me love by protecting me. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all get them up out of here quick. Sometimes I let people cook and then I get them up out of here because sometimes people gotta realize like this is not the pod for that. And then when they come back, they show a different type of energy. So I give people a chance to, what I'm saying, to be humans, before I get them up out of here. My mods, y'all don't play them games. Like, yeah, forget all that human stuff, B. Get up out of here, B. If you're not up on time, you know what I'm saying? If you're not up on game. But yeah, a record. Yeah, so we got some of the other podcasts coming back in conjunction with the Kenneth Brothers Get It Right podcast as well. So I want y'all to remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not stand out for being and doing negative things. Stand out for being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mentality. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We only celebrate life coach over here. Hate has a location. It's just not over here. It's just not over here. Find your peace. Find your peace. Find your peace. It's cool to find your peace. I spoke about earlier about people having their own place. Find your peace. Find your peace. Shout out to Rowan, my dog Rowan, man, for gifting that comment, Ash. How much for a 360? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Rowan is stupid. Why, you stupid. Talking about how much for a 360. Appreciate the bread, though. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the gifted, man. Thank you. Talk about spin. I'm not spinning, dude. It's stupid. Shout out to Samuel. I subscribed. Have a Merry Christmas. Appreciate that, Samuel. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And make sure you tap into those videos as well. We got a whole bunch of videos, a lot of interesting topics as well. Love you, Ash. Yo, the love back at you, Rowan. Appreciate that. All jokes. Come on. You know how we do, man. Like, come on, it's all jokes. We have a good time over here, man. Like, you don't even have, that goes without saying, brother. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. That's for sure. That is for sure. Man, y'all been amazing as always. Again, I will be back today's Wednesday, this Sunday at 10:30. And y'all already know, man. It's love. Hit them likes, hit the 100s on your way out. And I see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. I'm out.